Hey there, cats and kittens. It's your Weird Uncle XV coming at you, but not in that way, because that's not the kind of weird uncle that I am, for yet another run of Banners of Ruin. Before we start, I want to get to something. I want to get to something very quickly. The Powdermaster was added last Friday. He's proven to be, I hope, a fairly popular character. I've noticed that more people seem to be streaming this game since he was added. That's awesome. Let's talk very briefly about the Powdermaster. So, okay. I want to talk to you very briefly about a couple of things that I've learned about him and how to build him. So, he works differently than everybody else. Oh my god, where am I going with this? Hold on. There we are. Good god. So, a couple things right off of the bat. Because the Powdermaster is hard locked at 8 weapon damage, cards like Akimbo and Flurry are of very, very limited use. So I've learned to very much avoid those. On the other hand, cards like Deep Strike, not cards like Deep Strike, specifically Deep Strike, is an excellent, excellent card for the Powdermaster because he goes solo. And because he's more likely to be solo for a longer period of the game, he's going to be max level somewhere around about in the second street, which means he is going to be getting full use out of this card, which I believe that it is 28 damage in total. It's 4 damage plus 4 damage per character's level if the opponent is in the back rank, and you have a bunch of different ways of getting the opponent to the back rank. So Deep Strike, very, very, very high value card. Other cards that I found to be extremely valuable for him, apart from the obvious powders, Quick Hands is excellent for him. Refresh is so very good that I'm going to talk about it in just a little bit. Running on Fumes also. Very clean, very simple card draw cards. Nothing fancy, nothing that involves too much card cycle, especially at the very beginning parts of the game. What you are looking for with the Powdermaster, I have found, is an opportunity to suddenly have a huge hand filled with powders, and then you can discard all the powders at once, and then you can get really, really strong, and then you can murder people with your explosives. So, give me a moment. Where are your talents? So here's your talents. Here's another thing that I wanted to talk about. His talents, I've had some time to work with all of them, and here is what I have come up with. Deadly Cargo and Powder Keg are God tier. If you have an opportunity to get Deadly Cargo or Powder Keg, get Deadly Cargo or Powder Keg. I think that possibly 1 or 2 Deadly Cargos is going to be the most that you really, really want with it. But Powder Keg is one of those that I don't think that it's possible to have too many. I think that if you had 4 powder kegs, it would be just fine. Because when it says 3 random powders, it can be any of the 4 powder types, including red powder, including black powder. So that's great. Bottom tier, Volatility. Volatility is not good, you guys. So what this does, this is the max rank Powdermaster talent. Whenever you gain Boom, there's a 75% chance that you will double your existing gains, but a 25% chance that your existing stacks of Boom will halve. So this is a very high risk versus reward card in a game in which risk versus reward is calculated a little bit differently. In the 3 out of 4 times that you double your gains, that's great. But the 1 in 4 times that you lose half of all of your stacks of Boom, it's going to fuck you, and it's really, really, it's not worth it. It's not worth it for a 4 stamina card. The answer is no. Just say no. The only thing about it, now that I look at it, is that it does not banish, and I wonder if that means it stacks, and I wonder how it interacts with itself if it actually does stack. Can you have the game rolling multiple times? Essentially, it's running a random number generator 1 to 4 to see whether or not you have your total gains or double your existing gain. So I wonder, is it possible to double your gain and also have your existing gain in one fell swoop? That would be fucking terrible. 2 for 1 is okay. It's okay. It is extremely underwhelming until, I'm going to say, around about in the second street, when you can reliably have a full hand, just reach max hand size, nothing but powder, so you can very, very quickly gain a huge amount of Boom. Early in the game, it's not very good. Late in the game, it's very, very good. Pyroclastic Blast, I believe that it's a bit underwhelming. It's simply because of the way Shockwave calculates. It does the damage after enemies have acted. So it's not going to stop any incoming actions. It's damage, but it's very, very much incidental damage. It's not going to prevent any incoming damage. I shouldn't call it incidental damage because it could absolutely kill people, but it's not going to prevent any incoming actions. And because of that, I would avoid it. Transmutation is okay. It's a bit fiddly. If you don't have 3 skill or rune cards in your hand, it can very much feel like part of it's being wasted, but it's fine. It's fine. Hot Swap it's all right. It's fine. It's one of those cards where you need to check your draw pile constantly to make sure that you have powder cards in it. Counterblast, now that it has been hotfixed, does exactly what it says on the label. The next time this character is attacked, reduce incoming stacks of damage by boom. That is going to be especially good for late game when you have large amounts of damage coming in and you're going to have huge amounts of boom. But again, it's just the next time this character is attacked. It's not providing you with a flat damage decrease until it wears off. It wears off immediately. So it's basically a non-standard, not as good Anticipate. And frankly, fuck that. It's okay, but I wouldn't. It's not something that I would take if there was anything better. Compounding Yield, I tried in my first live streamed run through. The first time I live streamed Powdermaster, I tried Compounding Yield, and I found it to be also pretty underwhelming. Compared to all the rest of the things that he does, it's just not that exciting of a button to push. You need to spend a lot of time making sure that you have a ton of powder in your draw pile, and if you don't, what this means is that this is a card that is situationally useful, just like Hot Swap. If you don't have any powder cards in your draw pile, it's a completely null card. It does absolutely nothing. And if you don't have enough powder cards in your draw pile, it does very, very little. By the way, if you hear like a hissing noise in the background, that's because it's 82 fucking degrees and incredibly, incredibly humid, so I have a tower fan aimed directly at my face, and it may also be aimed directly at my microphone, so that may be what you're hearing. Catalyst is an interesting card. It is pretty good. It's actually not pretty good. It's quite good in the first street, and then after the first street, it's a card that you kind of wish you didn't have, because a 10 boom gain in the first street when you don't really have that much powder is not that great. When the first street, when you don't have much powder, I take it back. It is quite good, because that's, I mean, your best case scenario is really getting between, I think, 10 or 12. I think 12 is the most possible. With your starting deck with the Powdermaster, I believe that the most amount of boom that you can have from one single trigger is 12. Catalyst is 10, so that's a large amount for 3 stamina, and Powdermaster starts with extra stamina. So that's fine, that's good. But later on in the game, when you are starting to be able to add on 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 boom all at once in one round, being able to spend 3 stamina to add 10, it just doesn't have the same kind of kick. So I would say, of his own abilities, Deadly Cargo or Powder Keg. And of the others, I'd be really leery about it, and I would probably try aiming a little bit more towards some of the agnostic talents, possibly. Loremaster is okay for him. It's not the best because a lot of his talents banish. What is a good one? Throwing Daggers is quite a good one for him. Synergize is amazing for him. Speaking of, let's talk a little bit about challenges. So, here is a hint. You don't need to kill the prince in order to beat a challenge. All you need to do to win a challenge is get to a screen that says Vanquish. That means that you have won the game. Now, if you are doing the informant's tasks, in order to win the game, you are going to be going through the Warden, Spymaster, Prince, and then beating the Prince is how you get the Vanquish. However, if you tell the informant to go fuck himself and ignore the first of his tasks, or if you go to that first of his tasks and you take any option that is not pay $150 for the boat, the informant goes away. That pathway is closed off to you irrevocably, and the win condition for the game becomes beat the warden. That is a warden is serious business, but beating the warden is a much easier proposition than beating the prince. So, if you are uncertain of your ability to defeat the prince on a particular challenge, and what you are really going after is just the card reward, do that. Just don't go after the prince. Just don't go after the prince. Speaking of card rewards, here are the card rewards you really ought to be going after. Band of Brothers, I'm going to say, it is, in my opinion, it's the easiest of all of the challenges to complete. All you got to do is reach a full party of 6 characters, and all you got to do is keep them all alive. Any party member death ends the game. Your reward is Synergize. You may remember Synergize as being the card that was so fucking good I nearly shat myself when we found out that Willows, the pure perfect cinnamon roll angel goddess courageous bear who was just too good for this broken world, she had this card and it nearly caused me to crap myself. Well, that wasn't just it. It was also because Willows happened to have almost 3 of her 4 talents were well chosen, and all of her passives were good for her. They were all in the computer had taken almost all good choices. She was a very, very lucky draw, because, as I've said, every level that you don't earn, that the computer earns instead by having the character automatically leveled up to your level at that recruitment event, is a series of choices that you didn't get to make. And the computer can make bad choices because the computer is not trying to build a character. The computer is just picking randomly, which very frequently can lead to just bafflingly poor decisions. Like I've seen beavers. My God, badger. I have seen beavers that have been built with 2 stamina and 5 will. I've seen weasels that have 6 stamina and 1 will. The computer doesn't make great choices, you guys. So it's really lucky when you find a recruit that actually does have RNG has favored you, and you've anyway. Yes, this is all very self-explanatory. So Synergize is fucking incredible. It is an expensive card, which means you're not going to be able to cast it for quite a bit into the game. But once you can cast it, it is quite game-changing. Synergize allows you to select 2 cards from your draw pile. Pay attention to that wording. It is explicitly from your draw pile. Whenever you draw one of those cards, you move the other one of those cards to your hand. If you've watched any of my other streams, if you've watched any of the other videos on this channel, you've seen this happen. Mostly what I'll usually do is I'll synergize the grenade together with the bandolier so that both of them come together in his hand. What's also really, really strong, if you can get Synergize, and this does require a little bit of RNG, but if you can get Synergize and you can get a mouse, and if that mouse has Barrage is an excellent card because it never discards. Every time you play it, it goes right back into your draw pile. So this is a card that keeps coming back into your hand. If you have this card plus Synergize, you can guarantee getting a very high value card back into your hand very, very, very frequently. And as far as Powdermaster is concerned, that is his grenade. Synergize, mouse, barrage, you can get his grenade into his hand pretty much almost every single hand. It's fucking great. So yes, hold on just a moment. So yes, Band of Brothers, as I'm saying, Band of Brothers is, of all of the challenges, this is possibly the easiest one to complete. Again, all you need to do is just at least get to the Warden, make sure that you've closed yourself off to fighting against the Prince so that you can make sure that you get the card reward. Just reach a full party of 6 characters, play well, fuck him up, kick his ass, and then you get Synergized, and then you can go through it again, going after the Prince to show that you can do it. Blood Ceremony, I have still not managed to figure out. This one is, in my opinion, this is the single hardest challenge. It's because of these 2 things. All enemy attacks apply 1 bleed. Bleed applied by enemies no longer ticks down, and enemies regain 5 vitality per turn. In the early stages, before you have any countermeasures for bleed, this is what fucks you, because the enemies regain that 5 vitality before your own bleed ticks. So the upside of this, bleed applied by party members is increased by 50%. That's great. Let's bring along a bunch of weasels. Except it's not quite like that, because if the mob has 9 health, 12 max health, 9 current health, and 9 bleed, or even 10 or 11 bleed, you might think, okay, that guy's going to die to his bleed. But he's not, because first he's going to gain back 5 health, and then he's going to take your 9, 10, or 11 bleed, and he will not die, and he'll keep attacking. I'm working on it. I do want to do a run. I want to live stream a run with this one, but this has so far been my white whale. I cannot figure this one out. Entrepreneur took me a little bit, but honestly, I found out that, lo and behold, doing this with the Powdermaster is almost embarrassingly easy, to the point where it's very clear that Montebello did not have solo play in mind when it created this one. Unfortunately, the counterweight it's all right. It's not a great. It's not really a great talent. We're talking about the talents that you should be aiming for. So Synergize, Band of Brothers. Aim for that one. Next, High Flyer. Refresh. If you've seen any of my other streams, if you have seen any of these other videos, you will recognize this card as one. This is one of the cards, this, like Red Powder and Reserves, is one of the cards that I do not feel it is possible to have too many of them. It self-banishes, so it keeps your deck neat and tidy. It is pure card draw without any bells and whistles. It banishes a card, so it helps you prune your deck and keep your deck nice and lean. It draws 3 cards, and then it banishes itself. It's so well behaved, you guys. Also, because of the wording, first it banishes a card, then it draws 3 cards, then it banishes itself. If this is the last card in your hand, there's nothing to banish, and it just draws the 3 card. It's all upside. Refreshes, in my opinion, it is one of the best, it's one of the highest tier cards in this game. In order to get Refresh, you need to score at least 1,000 at the end of a campaign. Now that is deceptively difficult. It is not possible to score it's not possible to actually even get to 1,000 points without adding on modifiers. In order to get over 1,000 points, you are going to need to go after the prince, and you're going to need to put on, well, these are the modifiers that I usually use. It says that, please notice that it says that no oaths are required, but it does not say that you cannot add oaths, because you need to add oaths. So the 2 that you should be adding, first, Blood Pact. Any party member death ends the game. And then Timid. Whenever a party member dies during a campaign, all remaining party members lose 1 max will. This is going to give you plus 1.25 times score, and another 2.5 times score. That is going to be enough that if you go through the entire game and kill the prince, your final score is going to be between 12 and 1,400. So that is going to be more than enough to win, to get this card. And again, it's not going to be super easy, because you're probably going to need to go after the prince. I haven't tried it without. You probably can. You might be able to. It's worth a shot. Not skipping the prince and just going after the warden with these 2. But ultimately, this really boils down to pretty much the same thing as Band of Brothers. You just basically make sure that none of your guys die. I know. That's if you're just starting with the game does have a significant learning curve. But once you get better at it, and once you get better at recognizing the pitfalls that this game has put in front of you, which is specifically, you need to strengthen your back line. You can't allow yourself to be lulled into a sense of false security by your front line tanking for your back line. You need to strengthen your back line, because as of the 3rd street, there are going to be guys who can fucking hit your back line, and you need to be prepared for that. And what else is there? Humble Beginnings is okay. It's a pretty fun run. Tower Shield is a decent card. It's fun. It's all right. It's a pretty decent card. It's not one of the ones that I'd say is important enough that you have to go after it. Adrenaline, I have not gone after because lightweights, that is to say, this challenge. I have not gone after this because I am totally uninterested in this card. It just seems, There are other cards in this game that do have similar effects that do not also force you to start the next turn with 0 stamina. I mean, like it's like super winded. Fuck that. Why am I bothering with this? All it is this turn cards everywhere cost 1 less stamina. So that's the trick. Is that most other cards that decrease the card cost are going to only decrease cost of cards that are already in your hand. This says cards everywhere cost 1 less stamina, so each new card that you draw into your hand. So this is a great card, in theory. This is a great card for if you have a ton of card draw. Like, for example, just a shit pile of refreshes all up in your deck. He said, talking himself into probably going after this. This just seems like such an obnoxious run. Win a run with no characters in your final party having a stamina above 5. Now, what that says to me is that I should build up several characters that have substantially more stamina than 5, and then just make sure that they die before the game ends. Which, I mean, it just feels a bit scummy. It feels a little scummy. And not doing that, it just feels a little irritating. I don't know. Sticks and stones I haven't gone after because I keep on not bothering with ruin runs or ruin decks. I don't know what it is about ruins that I'm not interested in, but I just don't really seem to be. Also, because the bleed that they get no longer ticks down. It's a rough thing. I'm working on it. And they have tanks. I've done a couple of times. I do like this challenge, but I don't think that digging deep is really that valuable. It's a good card, but it's expensive, and it is the essence of the word fiddly. You gain 2 stamina, you discard up to 4 cards, then you draw that many. It is a great card if you are able to draw max hand size pretty much all the time, so that digging deep will make sure that all the cards in your hand are the cards that you want to have in your hand. But digging deep also works best if you have a deck that has just a shitload of chaff in it, and that's not really something that you should be aiming for, really. It really isn't. So I kept on trying to make digging deep work because They Have Tanks is a difficult challenge. I worked really hard for this one, and I wanted to make it work, and I just have not been able to, so I've been avoiding it since. Waste Not, Want Not. Law of Exchange is everything usually that I do not like in a card. It is it's not extremely complicated, and it's not extremely situational, but it is complicated. But its complexity is at an absolute minimum, and the effect that it is giving you is very, very strong, even if you don't get the special effect. The special effect here is, so you banish a card. If that card costs 3 plus stamina, move a banished card back into your hand. That is excellent, especially for Powdermaster, who has several banished cards that are very high value. Otherwise, place a card from your discard pile on top of your draw pile. If you simply ignore the 3 plus stamina bit, this is a 3 stamina card that allows you to bring a card right back into your hand next round. It's not bad. It's pretty good, honestly. I've had good luck with it. Its only problem is that it's very expensive. Hard Lessons. This was another one. This was another one that I had a lot of fun getting this, but I have not had a lot of fun using the card itself. It's all right. It's fine. It's a bit fiddly because you notice the order. First you draw 3 cards, then you discard 2 cards. You cannot avoid discarding 2 cards like you can with, for example, Refresh. You can avoid banishing a card simply by waiting until casting that card for the very, very last. This, you are only getting a maximum of 1 card. That means you are going to need to make some really hard choices. And if you have been... if you've been building your deck properly, I feel like this card should be forcing you to make really, really difficult choices, and I don't like making difficult choices like that. I prefer to just pull a bunch of fucking cards into my hand. So, once again, go after Band of Brothers for Synergize, go after High Flyer for Refresh, and I would also recommend going after Waste Not, Want Not for Law of Exchange. This is not an easy one, but it's pretty decent. The card reward is worth it. In addition, there's one other thing that I wanted to point out. So I always, not unlocks, I'm in the wrong place. Hold on 1 second. Where are we going? There we are. So you may notice that another card that I gravitate towards and lean on very heavily is Running on Fumes. Running on Fumes is it is a very strong card with a significant downside. So you draw 3 cards, and then it immediately hits you with 4 Winded. That means that whoever casts this card next round isn't really going to be taking very many actions, unless you've got a bear. Bears consume winded. Bears consume winded. This is honest to God. It is the total reason why I keep gravitating towards bears. They're good. They're strong. They have pretty good passives. Their talents most of their talents are very, very expensive and very, very situational. But they can toss off Running on Fumes and live on it. They make Running on Fumes all upside. They make it into a better version of Refresh because it's draw 3 cards, and also you trigger the Bear's Racial, and you just get 12 armor out of this. This is worth 3 cards, 12 armor for 1 stamina if you have at least 1 bear with at least 1 will. That's my secret, honestly. That's the reason why I keep going towards bears. Okay, that is going to be about it for that. I am going to be doing another Powdermaster run. I wanted to do a challenge run on this. The challenge run that I wanted to do was they have tanks, but I'm still working on that with him because it's very complicated for him early on because he starts with such shit armor. The only thing, god dang it. See, the only challenges that I don't have are Blood Ceremony, which I don't know how, I haven't worked out, and Lightweights, which, I mean, like, I'm not super into it. So you know what? I'm going to go after Entrepreneur. I've already completed this once, but I'm going to do it again because it's a fun mechanic. I need to finish the campaign with a total of at least 2,500 florins, and whenever I add any card to my deck, I'm going to lose 50 florins. Now that includes weapons, and that includes talents. And if I add a recruit to my party, I am adding all of their weapon cards. I am adding all of their talent cards. So adding a high-level recruit to my to my party is going to become very, very, very expensive. That said, as I've already said, I did complete this once almost by accident. I was doing a practice run on this, and I found that this, with the Powdermaster, this particular run is this particular challenge is not very difficult, simply because he can't take on any additional weapons. And it's a very long time before he picks up any recruits. I have talked about this, I think, long enough. Let's go ahead and take a swing. Oh, by the way, I've decided that this time I am going to voice all of the encounters, and I'm going to use silly voices. I did it in the very first stream that I did on this, and then I got embarrassed and I stopped because I got embarrassed. But now I've decided, fuck embarrassment. I am going to do the silly voices. Okay, this is a very, very strong start. Prey is excellent. It's a choice between 1 extra stamina or 1 extra will. I'm going to go with the extra stamina for the Powdermaster right away. He already has a very decent amount of will, and I don't really have a lot of powder to get rid of it. The Informant. As you turn a corner, you find yourself confronted by a wiry figure, their identity masked by the dim light, but their noble birth betrayed by their fine robes. "I know why you've come to Dawn's Point," the low, dry voice echoes off the cold stone. "I can help you reach him. My family are being held captive in Old Town. Help us free the city, and I will arrange you entry into the keep. Find a boat and free my family. Then meet us in the sewers below the royal court. Do as I ask, and you will have your blood." You exchange a solemn, understanding nod to the old wolf before he sharply hurries off. All right, so away we go. Sorry, that loud thump is me triumphantly putting down my drink. I don't know why I'm triumphantly putting down my drink. I must have a reason for it, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. Prey, by the way, this is one of my favorite cards that is new to this game from the Powdermaster DLC. It's all upside. It's a 10 armor plus draw a card for 2 stamina. It really, really, really feels like a bit of a bargain. We're going to move out of the way. We're going to throw some powder, and we're going to kill this guy. We didn't need to move out of the way, did we? Whatever. Taking that invigorating blow, that does mean that, it's not going to be useful for me yet, but it will later. I don't care about the Plague Doctor, don't care about the Blackfoot Agents. We'll take a doggedness and get some free armor. This is, all right, well, free experience, sure. Summer is trash, and I fucking hate it. Everyone or anyone who says that they love summer is lying to you. They're just saying that they like... I don't know. It's because they're still in school and they like being off of school. But summer is absolute fucking trash. I'm sitting in my study, and my house is very, very old. I live in Western New York, in a part of the state that my house was built in like 1860s, and it's gorgeous, and I love it. But it was not built with air conditioning in mind, and we're right on top of one of the Great Lakes, so the humidity is about 400 fucking million, and it's garbage, and I hate it. Not enough gun. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I have got plenty of armor. We're fine. Okay. Let's just build up some armor. We are not in the dangerous area. I'm probably going to be streaming tonight, and if I do, it's either going to be a more difficult challenge run of this, or I have also been daring myself to do a full Let's Play of a game called Control that I'm very into, or possibly also Elden Ring. The only reason why I haven't started streaming Elden Ring is because everyone is streaming Elden Ring, and it's not what the world needs right now. The world doesn't need yet another middle-aged white man streaming Elden Ring. I'm making it into a political thing. I'm totally sorry. I haven't actually had the need or wherewithal. No. Rearguard is a card that is great in the base game and limited use here simply because it just never becomes valuable. Digging Deep we've already talked about, and protection is just far too expensive. Wild Brawl is another card that is great for the base game and of limited value here because it's going to be a while before I have anyone else in my party. Wild Brawl is a card that increases its value the more guys you have in your party. Sharpened Steel is a weapon damage card, and we're going to be avoiding all of those because our weapon damage, as we've discussed, is hard locked at 8. So we're just not taking any cards. Let's see. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, I'm going to take Catalyst. I talked about this before. I'm going to repeat this. Volatility it's the max rank card for it's your reward for hitting max rank with Powdermaster, and it is so disgustingly RNG risk versus reward that I legitimately hate it. You have a 1 in 3 chance of doubling your gains whenever you gain Boom, and you have a 1 in 4 chance of doubling your gains whenever you gain Boom for that combat, and you have a 1 in 4 chance of losing half of your fucking stacks of Boom. So fuck that. We're gonna go with Catalyst, which, as I have said, it's okay. It's good early game. Late game, it's something that we're going to want to re-roll if we get the opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and take another Will. And let's see. Wishing Well is going to let me get rid of a card in exchange for an upgrade. Cultist Wares we're not going to bother with. Mentor is going to allow me to... Well, there's 2 different Mentor events. And it's a coin toss which one this is going to be. With the Powdermaster, I've noticed that sometimes it is +1 will, sometimes it is duplicate a card. In the base game, Mentor is always duplicate a card. I don't have any cards that I really want to duplicate. I don't really, yeah, I don't have any cards I want to duplicate at this point. I don't have red powder. I don't have refresh. I don't have running on fumes. So I don't have anything that's really worth duplicating. And I just picked up a will. I don't really need another one. Is there anything that is worth getting rid of right now? Yeah, I could ditch a strike. I'll ditch a strike. The lucky charm that you get, the baseline for this event is it'll give you one that is, it's 10 florins every single time you play that card. It's an upgrade that happens to be very good on, for example, Barrage that we discussed before, because Barrage keeps on coming back into your hand. But it's without Barrage, it's just such small amounts of it's incidental money. It's like finding a couple of coins in your couch cushions. I'm gonna get rid of this here strike. And I'm gonna get 10 florins anyway. What the fuck, man? Okay, sure, why not? I mean, thanks, RNG. Okay. We got a checkpoint. It's some guardsmen. Oh God, have there been events that I should have been reading this whole time? There've been events that I should have been reading this whole time. I completely forgot I was going to do that. All right, I'll remember. Okay, and that pacified. So once again, your goal in the micro game, you want to be reducing your incoming actions, all incoming enemy actions, by at least one every single turn. If you can reduce by any means necessary, by kicking him into the back row or moving him otherwise into the inactive lane, or by killing him, any way that you can possibly reduce incoming actions by at least one per round means you're doing okay. I actually do need to get out of the way of that. Okay, Are you going to be moving? He is going to be moving, so let's go ahead and give him some cripple. Alright. I'm also going to move out of the way of this also. There is no reason... Oh, okay. It wouldn't have been vitality damage anyway. It's only vitality damage it's only bleed if it does vitality damage. And they would not have broken through, but I'm not fucking around with that. Because the Powdermaster is so low, all incoming actions are going to be focused on him. He has no room to breathe. He needs to be focused. He needs to be very focused on his own defense. And bleed makes that very difficult. I don't really want a third pink powder at this time, but I will take a second wind. I want some other powder first. I don't want to fill up on pink powder. It turns out, by the way, I mentioned this last time that this game currently, it's probably going to be patched, but this game currently does not show you the name of the Powdermaster. Excuse me. where normally this character's name would be. Instead, it says just Powdermaster Otter. We can see from when he just leveled up, our Powdermaster's name is Cosworth. All right, fingers crossed for that first passive. Big money, big money, big money, no whammies. And, okay. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're kidding me. That's incredible. That's incredible. Each turn, the first time I draw a powder card, immediately draw the next powder card in my draw pile. So if I draw at least one powder card, I have 2 powder cards. Flow is also very, very strong, but Powdermaster can often be very low on talents. I tend to gravitate towards banishing talents for him, so it's going to be of somewhat limited use. Noxious is an interesting thing for him because it wouldn't take care of the bleed problem, but it would defray it. I am absolutely going with Keg Tap. That looks awesome. Let's see if it actually is awesome. Upgrading stamina this time. Next time, I think is also going to be stamina. I'm not going to go after will on him for Nah, you know what? I want to get up to about maybe 5 or 6 will on him. So, 20 damage incoming. Both of these are sweeps. 10 in the middle. Boot him out of the... Oh, you idiot! I'm a moron. So what I should have done there was pink powder first. And then booted him in the back. But I am who I am. So... You notice I'm not doing Catalyst this time because I still have 10 damage incoming and I only have 6 armor. I'm not fucking around with red damage with him. I did not get Bloodthirsty like I did last time. I have not gotten Lone Wolf like I did the time before. Not the time before, I don't think. In one of my private runs. One of my runs just for myself. I got... Lone Wolf on him is fucking phenomenal. I'll just leave it at that. I don't need to get out of the way of this, so I am instead going to focus on murder. Oakley dokley. Goodbye. But there was no other powder in my drop pile, then? Wonder why that didn't work. That's concerning. Unless maybe it wasn't the first powder I drew. I wasn't paying attention. I'll need to pay closer attention to that. Okay, this I am going to jump out of the way of. One thing I will say about Catalyst is that it does mean that I can afford to use the powders as powders early on instead of discarding them. I'm not taking another yellow powder. And I'm not taking any of these either. That's a shame. Ooh. Overzealous guards. We're going to show them I will show you a real spy. Fuck, I keep on forgetting that I'm going to be reading these event cards. I won't forget next time. I'm going to do the silly voices and all. I'm looking forward to doing some stupid-ass silly voices. What just did that? That was awesome. So Second Wind drew 1 card, and it drew a pink powder, so I drew another powder. I am very happy with Keg Tap. Okay. I don't really need to get out of the way of this. He's only doing 8. So instead, I'm just going to focus on... Oh, god damn it. He didn't have vulnerability. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. That's my own fault. I didn't put vulnerability on him before I hit him with my grenade. Do I not have... Yeah, okay. I don't have any other powder in my... That makes sense. 12 damage incoming. I have more than 12 damage in reserve. 12 armor, rather, so I'm fine. Hey, thanks for the follow. Thanks for coming along. How do I pronounce that? Is that Holanth? Holanth? Give me 1 second. That is Holakna. Okay. I'm going to call you you, and you're pretty awesome. Thanks very much. Okay. Running on fumes is fucking awesome, but I do not currently have a bear. I'm going to take it anyway, because it's just that good of a card. All right, so fingers crossed. Big money, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, and yes, Powder Keg. Fuck yes, this is exactly what we want to see. Powder Keg is extremely high tier. It is for Powdermaster. Powder Keg is basically god tier. There is, in my opinion, no such thing as too much of this talent. Now that I actually have I'm going to be able to have a decent amount of powder in my hand. I am going to start building more will. You hear a yelp after the short but bloody scuffle concludes. I wasn't here. I don't know you. I don't see you. She runs off. Oh, I should tell you if you're just tagging along, I'm going to be reading the As long as I remember doing so, I'm going to be reading the event things and doing the silly voices. Uh-oh. That was a mistake. Shit. All right, well, okay. I'll explain what happened in just a moment, but I'm going to try to... I'm going to get myself some red powder right now is what I'm going to do. So let's get rid of 1 guard and 1 strike. Red powder is everything that you want in the whole fucking world. And... okay, I'm going to take the crossroads now. Oh, hey, good, they fixed that! Ah, thank God. That used to be a bit of a bug, that if you accidentally discarded past the crossroads, when you picked the crossroads, it would discard from everything that was present. But from there, it seems it just discarded the other crossroad event, so that has been patched, and I'm very happy about it. I'm going to take this stronger combat, and then I'm going to go to the heavy patrol. There's my powder keg. And it's fine. It's fine, I guess. Oh, it's perfect is what that is. Awesome. Well done. I'm telling Cosworth he's done very well. He's discarded the right things. We're taking a little bit of red damage off of this. Just a bit. 8 damage incoming. Now, this is a ranged guy, so he is going to be hitting me even if I do move out of the way. Withdraw is not going to do anything right now. So instead, I am going to Catalyst, poke at him a little bit, and build up armor. I now have a decent amount of boom, just in time for some red powder. I am also, however, going to get the fuck out of the way. Now, all 3 of these guys are going to be missing. Let's get some more cards into my hand. Ooh. You know what? Fuck the dumb shit. I'm just going to use these powders as powders. Because yeah, I have red powder now. So... this is just going to murder you, and this is just going to murder you. And we're done. Okay. Difficult choice. I do like Law of Exchange. Especially because if I have anything in my... Law of Exchange will ultimately allow me to bring powder kegs back into my deck after I've banished it. But it is expensive. But it is a pretty good card. I'm going to go for it. Otherwise, my other option here is Calculating Strike because it has Preparation. Honestly, the Preparation card I'm looking for is Quick Hands, not Calculating Strike. That is not to say that Calculating Strike is bad in any way. I want Preparation as much as possible. I want as much Preparation as I can because card draw wins this game, and Preparation is just more card draw. What I'm saying, basically, is that I should be taking Calculating Strike. And I'm gonna. Fuck the dumb shit. I'm going to take Calculating Strike. And I'm taking that billhook and putting it in my stash. The next person I recruit is getting that billhook. This is a billhook. It is the weapon damage is not exciting, and it costs 2 stamina, which is also not exciting. What it does, however, is it swaps opponent to a target position. This is a CC machine. Using a billhook, you can grab a dude and move him into a different space. If you have enough guys with billhooks or quarterstabs, you can have just a tremendous amount of crowd control. It's very strong. It's an excellent weapon that Powdermaster cannot use. This is the I'm not going to take it along with me. The Tower Shield is also very actually, you know what? I might want to take this along with me. No, I'm not taking it. And I've already done the damage to myself. So, the challenge run that I am doing, every time I add a card to my deck, it costs me 50 gold. When I took this Entrenched and I put it into my stash, I was adding it into my deck, and I charged myself 50 florins. And then I took it out. I did not get that 50 florins back. You may have noticed the sound of gold leaving my pockets, because I am dumb. So I've already done the damage. Let's just keep moving. Yeah, it's not great. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to... afford a recruitment event. That's okay. I'm skipping this hesitation. I'm going to allow it to do the 5 damage to me. I'm going to take this heavy patrol because I want to catch up a little bit in... I want to catch up at least a little bit in terms of money, and I want to gain as much experience as possible. Okay, so right away, let's reduce the amount of incoming actions. Now I only have 16 damage coming in. That's fine. That's I can deal with that. I'm not going to increase the armor that I have left. Instead, I'm going to prep these guys to fuck them up next one out. So, let's see. Well, you, and then also you, and then also... See, this is what I don't have anything on my grenade. I kind of want to spin this out a little bit and allow that for Resto to, to heal me back up to full. But at the same time, I don't want to waste too much time. This run is already going to take some time. Oh, hey, let's just fucking end this. So I'm going to point this out. Black Powder is normally an exceptionally rare card. In the base game, before the Powdermaster DLC, the only way to get this card was a particular encounter called Smugglers, in which you would get 3 of these cards and you would be tasked to carry them through most of a street, basically past a crossroads, and then the smugglers would come back and they would ask for their black powder back. And the only way to keep the black powder was by fighting them. And it's really not that worth it because you notice the last line is permanently ruin this card. Every instance of black powder can be used exactly once. But this is not true black powder. This is ghost black powder because I didn't add this to my deck. I did not add this to my deck. This is not part of my deck. What this is something that was generated by Powder Keg. So I can cast this with impunity because that ruin is not staying in my deck. So we're going to do red powder, and then we're going to do black powder, and they're all going to explode. None of these. None of these either. I really do want this falchion. This is one of the best. This is honestly, falchion is it's a phenomenal weapon card. It is 1 stamina for 11 damage, and if the opponent doesn't have any armor, it's worth 5 bleed. It's 11 weapon damage for which is very high for weapon damage cards. For cards like Akimbo and Flurry, it's phenomenal, but it's pretty much useless to me. So I'm just going to keep moving. We get another level. Okay. Fingers crossed. Big money. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Yeah, okay. That's fine. I'm going to go with Steadfast. I'm going to talk a little bit about these passives. So Practiced is quite good whenever the character uses a racial ability, draw 1 card. He is going to be using his racial ability quite a bit, so this is not a bad choice. Flow also, almost always, is a very strong choice. Anytime this character plays a talent, 1 random card in your hand becomes 0 stamina cost this turn. This is especially strong on weasels, because the shivs that they generate with their racial ability are all talents. So every time a weasel with flow wins the game. Simple as that. You'll notice, however, that I have 2 talents currently and both of them banished, so I would get very, very limited use out of flow. Instead, I'm going to take Steadfast, which is passive armor generation. And I am going to give myself a little bit more stamina. We're not worrying about the Sage. He allows us to... actually, he might let me reroll a talent, but that's not useful right now. I'm going to take the Hidden Gem for right now. Okay, not bad. Plus 1 stamina cost. Draw 3 cards. Okay, that's, it makes something a little bit more intense, but in exchange, it gives me something back. I'm going to put this on this here Strike, because it's not a card that I don't have any 0-cost cards. I do have a 0-cost card. What am I thinking? One moment. I completely fucking forgot. Oh, yes, that's why it wasn't showing up. Okay, I did have a 0-cost card, and it is... Where are you? Invigorating Blow. Boink. I'm going to put the money on my... No, what else am I going to be casting frequently? What I'm going to cast literally every time it comes up is probably going to be Second Wind. So, that's a good home for it. Combat. This encounter is awesome. It's brand new for this DLC. It makes me uncomfortable every single time because these are literal These are literal peasants. This guy's got a fucking push broom. Look at this shit. I feel so bad about this, but the design is so cool. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this angry, angry rabbit. Look at his angry face. Look at the detail around his eyes. This guy is going to die so fucking hard defending his, I don't even know what. You're not defending the city, buddy. There are guardsmen who are fighting against me for that. I don't know what you're doing. He's also pretty cool. Look at that face. Ah. I am going to, even though these actions are not hitting me, I'm still booting him into the back to break up the actions per round that are coming in. So now this active, the active rank ribbon is going to move to the back. So now instead of 3 actions this turn and 3 actions next turn, it's 2 actions this turn, which I've already avoided, and 1 action next turn, and then after that, 2 actions. You understand? Don't you? I seriously, I mean, like, it would be better if they were not, if they looked at all. I honestly feel a little better about it if they looked like scared at all, like, you know, like they've accidentally found themselves cornered or something. But no, these guys are brave as shit. We are murdering dudes who are brave as shit. It honestly, for me, like, it makes it so much worse. You're so brave, and you're just gonna die, and it's a waste. It's such a waste. I'm so sorry. Goodbye. It's 9 damage incoming, but because of steadfast, I've got plenty of armor generation. I'm doing fine. What are you doing? He's going to jostle, so I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a cripple, so he can take some extra damage from that. Okay, I'm not going to bother with the extra card draw right now. I'm not going to, I'm not going to hamstring myself for next round. Seriously, though, okay, all right. Real talk. Look at the fine detail in the artwork around this, as a beaver, around this beaver's eyes. He is angry, resolute, courageous as fuck. This guy is my goddamn hero, and it makes, it's a damn shame. It is a damn shame that he is defending the prince, who is a garbage, trash, monster fuck, and I hate him. The prince killed someone close to me last time. I had a bear. It was a really, really good bear. He killed the bear. I'm angry about it still. I killed him. I keep killing him. I'm still salty about it. I'll be salty about it forever. All right. I don't need another running on fumes because I don't have a bear yet. Upper hand, I'm not going to be taking. Poison tip. I'm going to say this again. I think that poison tip is it's a pitfall that is intended for new players who are not really that used to it. 3 poison is a bafflingly bad card. This is so, I mean, it would be better if this was 0 cost. As it stands, 1 stamina for 3 poison is, I don't get it. It's so little effect for even 1 stamina. It's cheap, but you're getting almost nothing out of it. Anyway. Wild Brawl again is a good card, but we're not going to take because we're by ourselves here. We are all alone. Weapon cache is going to be useless, so let's go after the combat. And underneath this combat, I guarantee you, is going to be the informant event, because we haven't seen it yet. I have a choice. It's 30 damage incoming. Let's make that... Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, by the way, red powder, it's just about the single most important card in this entire fucking game. There's no such thing as a deck with too much red powder. Here's that Law of Exchange I didn't take last time. And that's going to be the last card I take, I think, for a little while. There's our boat merchant. Goodbye, my money. I liked you when you were around. Obviously, I don't have anywhere near enough to recruit anyone at the tavern. I don't really need to heal. I don't really need to heal, and I don't want to spend the 250 on healing. Let's take a look at what's at the smithy. Nothing good is at the smithy. It's not like they were going to buy anything there anyway, but... So, please don't be Spitter. And of course it's Spitter. Every fucking time. Again, of all of the... Good. Okay, let's get the fuck out of the way right away. And let's also knock this shit down right away as well. Okay. So all of your shit is missing. Spitter is the only one of the early game bosses, the bosses that you can... Isn't he fucking... Oh my god. It's... I like him. I like that he's added because the other bosses are just not that great. They're not very... What's the word I'm looking for? Like, they're not very dangerous. They're really not very dangerous. Grit Salt isn't dangerous. Blister and Sledge really aren't very dangerous. Spitter is legitimately fucking dangerous. And it's entirely because it's this poison. It's the poison that he puts on you right at the beginning. He is very, very much a DPS race. You have to kill this encounter as quickly as possible. Yeah. Plus side, with this down, that means that their actions are broken up. Oh, look at you. You beauty. How am I going to do this? Yes, that's exactly how I'm going to do this. Yeah, okay, I think that's a pretty decent positive result right there. Okay, so I have a shot of Vigor. I'm going to use that for the calculating strike. You know what? I'm going to hit this. I'm going to hit this just so that, because this guy also is going to move forward, and that'll split up their actions even more. Who's got some? Nobody's got some. Never mind. Nobody has any modifiers on them, which is unfortunate. But let's start fucking you, because you suck. Okay. I don't honestly need more boom at this time. So instead, what I'm going to do is just ruin this goddamn mouse. I'm going to ruin this mouse, and it's going to feel okay ruining this mouse. There we go. Goodbye, mouse. Go fuck yourself. I mean, like, real talk. I think that I'm glad that he's in this game. Because those other bosses, it's not satisfying. They all really feel very much like pushovers. Whereas he feels pretty rough. He feels like a difficult time. What are you doing to me? Okay, he's going to try to move forward if possible, and he's not breaking through my armor. We are already all set. And... I want red powder back in my hand. Alright, well, may as well kill you. And may as well move out of the way. There's no sense in taking the damage if I don't have to. Okay. And we're done. None of these? I'm not going to take a second wind. I am going to take one heavy armor because that's not a card being added to my deck, so it's not going to hit me with the 50 DKP minus. Ugh, I really don't like any of these. Counterblast is fine. It's kind of like anticipation. It's anticipation, but it isn't. It's like lesser anticipation that is more expensive, and doesn't. I mean, it doesn't necessarily soak an entire hit if you don't have enough boom. Pyroclastic Blast it's okay. Actually, I think Pyroclastic Blast might be the way to go. It's either going to be Pyroclastic or 2-for-1, or a forfeit. I may actually forfeit. 2-for-1 is fine later game. Actually, I'm going to take 2-for-1 because I do actually have the ability of gaining a decent amount of boom already. So I'll take that. And I'll take another stamina as well. Now, okay, we are far enough away from 7 that it's worth grabbing. We don't need to. Okay, so bear with me for a second. Normally, we take excellence. Get a free level. Powdermaster is going to be level 8 before he hits the next boss anyway. This excellence is not really going to be, it's not necessary. It's nice. It's nice to be able to get that level right now. And it's going to be real nice to get that passive right now, he said, talking himself into it increasingly. But also, in order to beat this challenge, I need to be over 2,000 florins. I do have quite a while to get there, though. So I am going to go with that excellence. Oh, fingers crossed. This is our third and final passives. Passives cannot be re-rolled. Talents can in certain events. Okay. Big money, big money, big money. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. And it's... Oh, yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Bastion is fine. Ooh, either of these is very good. Either of these is very good. All right, so let's talk about this. He said, suddenly becoming a Muppet for some reason. Minimalist is an extraordinary passive for the Powdermaster, as I discovered last time I streamed, because his racial literally involves him discarding. So every time he gains boom, he's also gaining health regen. That's great. Bastion, which is better known as it is Demi Lone Wolf. At the start of their turn, if this character has no allies on their rank, they gain 15 armor and 1 stamina. I'm already gaining 8 armor, so this would be a total of, bad at math, 23 armor and 1 additional stamina every single round. That's actually quite good. That is worth it. It would very much be worth it, because a big problem we're going to have as time goes on is there's going to come a point where we can no longer rely on evading the damage, and we're going to need to work on soaking the damage. And in order to soak the damage, we're going to need armor. Either of these would be perfect. It is really going to be basically a coin flip. Shit, man. I think I'm going to go with Bastion. I hope I don't regret that, but I am going to go with Bastion. I'm also going to go with an extra stamina, and next time I'm going to take the will. All right. So, right away. That's nice. I like that a lot. Okay, and I am going to be taking some damage, but because of Steadfast and Bastion, even without the upgraded armor, I have a very, very decent amount of I got some shields. I'm all right. I am still concerned about bleed damage. I'm a bit concerned about bleed damage. So, first of all, let's get the fuck out of the way of this. I don't have any... I do have some powders now. 7. Let's break up their total actions coming in per round. Let's increase our... I really want to re-roll this. We're at a point where 10 boom is just not exciting. And then we're going to 2-for-1 it and punch you 2 in the face. Okay, I'm satisfied with 2-for-1. I wish I had any refreshes. Literally any refreshes. I can banish you and bring back Running on Fumes, I guess. Oh, you know what? I should have hit red powder and then brought that back into my hand. And then hit Second Wind to bring it back. Okay, so if I was good at this game, what I would have done was first I would throw red powder on him. Then I would have played that... where is it? Then I would have played Laws of Exchange. I would have banished that billhook the way that I did then, and then I would have brought that red powder back into my hand, and then I would have played... I would have brought that red powder back into my deck and put it on the top of my deck, and then I would have played Second Wind and brought the red powder immediately back into my hand. That's what I would have done if I was any good at this. You can just explode. That's fine. It's worth it. Wait, hold on. Alright. Yeah, it's worth it for the extra 10 damage. He's not going to break through to my armor. I've already got 65. I'm doing okay. And then when he immediately tried to jump back forward, he fucked himself. None of these. None of these. Setup, I think, is another one of those cards that's a bit of a pitfall for newer players. It looks like it's great. I mean, everything on there looks fantastic. It's got vulnerability. It's got damage. It's got card draw. It's underwhelming. There are better cards that do all of these things either better or cheaper. 6 damage is a low amount of damage. Vulnerability is not as good as Overwhelm. It's okay, but if you have any other means of applying vulnerability, it's not really necessary. And draw 1 card. I have other cards that draw 1 card for less than 2. Its setup is it's a bit of a pitfall. I would not recommend it. Hello, Arena. Hello, Burr. So, let's go get a whole bunch of fucking money, shall we? Alright. Now, first off, we are going to get the fuck out of the way. We are going to Catalyst, and we're going to spread some powder around, because that is absolutely not worth discarding. Okay, so... Alright. I'm thinking about it. I've only got 12 damage incoming. Wow, holy shit. I am absolutely going to be... I'm going to be soaking that in its entirety. Let's see if I can get... Yes, perfect. Let's go ahead and get some boom. All right. And we're all set. And I think that's enough to just blow you up. I swear to God, Powdermaster is such a satisfying character to get the hang of. He was absolutely 100% made to be played solo. If you add other dudes to your team, you're not adding other soldiers to your team. You are adding support for your Powdermaster. That's the way that you should approach this. If any person that you add to your team, it's not how good is this person going to be able to do on his own. It is 100% how well is this guy going to support my Powdermaster. None of these. Okay. Let's get out of the way. So I'm going to throw this red powder on the guy in the back so that I can save it for next time. I don't have enough for Law of Exchange. I should have saved some stuff. That's fine. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's make a little bit of room so that we can draw cards. I really should be hitting one of the... I honestly really should be throwing those at the guy with the overwhelm on him. I'm not thinking clearly. I'm sorry. So let's fill our hand with stuff. And let's toss some of that stuff out. 30 is fine. It's enough to murder some people and kill some guys. I'm not going to take the card draw because I don't really have enough stamina to really make good use out of it, and it would just hamstring me for next round. Oakley dokley. Okay, so honestly, we're at a point where we can just start murdering people with abandon. You notice our armor generation, even without the upgraded armor, is fantastic. Steadfast and Bastion are doing a lot of work for us. I mean, Minimalist is also, just to make it very clear, Minimalist would also have been a perfectly cromulent pick. It's a great passive for him. It would have been a constant amount of health regen, but I think I'm going to go... I think that I made the right choice here. Okay. And taking that brace. Just one brace is enough. And $750. Yay, money. Okay. Ah, it's the inventor. All right, now, remember, I'm going to be reading these event cards. I'm going to be doing the silly voices. So.
Oh, well, what have we here?
The hare barks at you maniacally.
You look like an individual well-versed in the study of explosives, a kindred spirit.
He heaves a chest onto the stall in front of him, slamming it down without a hint of grace. A dark, solid ball, the size of a large fistful, tumbles onto the floor.
Ugh!
He snatches it up before it rolls away.
My latest creation! Smaller than your average grenade, but just as potent.
He taps his nose.
A careful blend of ingredients. Trade secret, I'm afraid.
A group of brutes suddenly burst into the scene.
Somebody's in a hurry to pack, barks the ringleader. We needed that shipment 2 days ago, Egiro. Now the window's closed. Somebody's got to pay for that.
He draws his blade. Egiro looks towards you with a pleading expression.
I recently made some bad life choices.
Everybody makes mistakes. We're going to defend Egiro. I think I may have chased someone out of the stream with my very, very silly voice. I apologize. Oh my god. All right. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not going to stop doing the silly voices. Okay. I do this for me. Okay. 4 left. He's got entrenched. So let's discard. Let's also get the fuck out of the way. He is going to be... I mean, these two guys are going to be doing... these guys are both going to be sweeping, and that's fine. It's this guy that I'm a little bit more concerned about. And let's also... This is what I'm thinking. I've got Calculated Strike, and I do want to have the extra card draw. I've also got Kick, which will enable me to break up the incoming actions next round. I've also got Grenade, so I want to... First of all, I definitely want to... I'm throwing my Grenade. That's an obvious. Oh, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's not do this. Let's just do this. There we go. Reduces the incoming actions next round, and also gets my my preparation. It's best of both worlds. Boom. 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 I don't need another invigorating blow. I don't want well rested. And that is max level for the Powdermaster. I don't really know if I'm going to need more than 5 will, but let's take a look. Deadly Cargo. Fuck yes. Absolutely. Without even looking at anything else that was on there. Deadly Cargo is great. It puts 2 ghost black powders into my hand when it draws. It banishes itself instantly. It is a great talent. I like it. And I think I'm going to take that stamina instead of the will. I think that 5 will, I think, is enough. Egiro runs over to you and clutches your arms firmly.
By Tenfear! Thank you, sir! You've saved this fool's life!
He pulls a small leather harness from a nearby crate. A handful of grenades are strapped onto it.
Please take this! I can't take it with me. It will serve you far better than I.
This should prove useful. Useful. This should prove useful. Oh my god. It's very hot. I'm sorry, it's very, very hot. Okay, we're going to take the free money from the drunken guards. We are also... Augur is a... You know, I'm going to go for the Augur. I'm going to go for the Augur because it is going to allow me to potentially re-roll a talent, I think. Yes. I'm re-rolling a talent, and it's going to be Catalyst, because 10 boom is just not worth 3. It's no longer worth it. And I'll take another Deadly Cargo. Yes, sir. I will. Absolutely. And I'll throw those cards at people. I will murder with explosives. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. All right. So. All right. I'm not going to be casting any of these powders. I'm going to be using all of them for the... Am I? Let's find out. $24. Boot you. Bring up my bomb. And then kill you, probably. No! It didn't kill you. Well, whatever. Side note, I want to point something out. Invigorating Blow, it is normally a zero-cost card, deals 8 damage. If the final damage dealt is 13 or greater, you gain 2 stamina, and you also gain 4 restoration. 1 shot of red powder is enough to get the bonus effect on Invigorating Blow. If you have at least 1 red powder, Invigorating Blow is a good choice. So good. I am a fan of that. I'm discarding. I don't need to be discarding. I'm basically I'm sort of delaying the inevitable a moment. Okay. I'm just building up some nice boom, some explosives. Sticking increasing amounts of powder into an already overstuffed bomb. All right, so first kick, then red powder, then another red powder. We are now at 6 stacks of Overwhelmed. That is 150% additional damage. For those of you who are better at math than me, I think that is 2.5 times damage from everything. It's a lot. It's great. I don't need another Invigorating Blow. I am taking that Deep Strike because I'm already at level 8. So this is all. I'm already going to be getting the full value out of Deep Strike. Yep. Okay. Now here is a thought. Let's think about it. It's going to be a level 4 character, but that's not a problem. My Powdermaster is already max level. So we're going to pick a weapon and 2 talents. Let's see. It would be the Great Axe. It's definitely going to be a mouse. It's definitely going to be a mouse. Between Lightning Strikes and Eager Strike, either of those is quite good. I think I would probably go with the Lightning Strikes. No. This might not be a bad idea to help with supporting the Powdermaster, because it's very easy, obviously, to get charge, to get strength onto your mouse. But it's going to be Eager Strike anyway. All right, Tresselfort, let's take a look at you. It's a mouse with Opportunist in a... Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, we're hiring you. Absolutely. Holy shit. That is all of our money going away. Goodbye, all of our money. All right, let's get some shit. Let's get some shit. Okay. A mouse with Opportunist in a Powdermaster deck that's dumb. That's dumb. I have so much fucking powder, and that also means that Tresselfort is going to be casting all of my powder. All powder comes from Tresselfort because he's going to be getting a tremendous amount of additional damage. I am also going to be... Did that cost me money? I want to try something. It did cost me money! Shit! Oh, no! Fuck. Okay, well, I'm going to do that one more time, and then I'm going to get rid of this. God damn it, I just blew $300 on nothing. Shit. Okay, well, there's that Relic Knight. Let's poke away at him. God damn it. Okay. Combat positions. Okay, so you've got a good heavy armor. That's fine. You've got Billhook. That's also fine. It's, yeah. I don't think I'm going to be building up a tremendous amount of of will on Tresselfort. I think that I'm going to be just building up nothing but stamina because I want him to be able to cast as much powder as possible every time I cast powder. And we're going to go ahead and beat up this fine old mouse with his extraordinary mustache. A couple things I'm going to point out right away. This guy is special. This Relic Knight is special. He has charismatic. Whenever he takes a turn, everybody else on his rank also takes a turn. And I've made a mistake right away. I need to have the mouse on a different rank to my Powdermaster, and I'm going to address that as soon as withdraw comes up. This is the one that's really dangerous. Each turn, if this character is on the active rank, the first turn card you play that targets this character will be ruined, and if it is a skill, it will be ruined permanently. This guy needs to be treated... We need to handle this guy with some kid gloves. We can only target him. We're only going to target him when he is not in the active row, and we're also going to try to make sure that he's not the last one dead, because we don't want him to be in the active row all the time. We're also not going to be moving him around, because we don't want to accidentally move him into an active row. You understand. You understand. So, all right, let's get you over here so that Cosworth can finally get his Bastion up and running. And let's also... Hold on. Okay, let's think about this. Oh, we don't really need to think about this that much. Hold on 1 second. So, dupe, and then we'll bring prey back into our hand. Okay. 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 I'm going to take a moment to build up some boom. And next round I am going to start. Okay, that's good. Maybe this round I'll start then. Let's see. It's really, really good. I'm going to do another one because I don't want the reducing the number of incoming actions just a bit. Okay, so that's basically everything you're doing this round. So Tresselfort, you sit and chill for a second. So you. I want you focusing on him. I may actually try to get these two talents forfeited out of the deck. I don't know. I mean, like, I honestly think I just want him... I only want him casting powders. That is his job. He just casts powders. What is my purpose? You cast powder. Now, this is not a skill card, so it will ruin, but not permanently. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, it is going to ruin, but it did not ruin permanently. Oh, it didn't ruin at all. Perfect. All right. In that case, let's just fuck these guys up, shall we? Oh my god. That was a lucky draw. Don't need another second wind, don't need another deep strike. The mouse now speaks in all but a frail of his... Let me try that again. The mouse now speaks in all but a frail echo of his former tone. You must not kill the young wolf, he wheezes. The Enders are an ancient line. It must be protected. You notice him pawing for a cracked vial of yellow fluid stowed at his belt, emanating a strange mist. We're going to show mercy on him, partially because his mustache is amazing, and partially also because we don't want to ruin 3 of our skills. We're not running a ruin deck. I don't think I am at all interested in picking up Well Rested, though. I am thinking about it. Because I don't know that I want... I honestly don't see myself casting either of these cards very often at all. So that will can be 100% for health regen. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Okay. Let's think this through for a moment. So Crossroads is at 10. I'm going to take this combat, then I'm going to move on to the guarded transport for the extra money. Oh my god, I completely forgot to move him off of the fucking rank. I'm an idiot. Alright, well. Well, let's see what we do. Okay. Excuse me. If played last, when played last, Law of Exchange is just, what card have you just played? Would you like to play again next round? Is there anything in particular that you'd like to play? I don't think I really need. Yeah. This is going to break that net off of him. And this is... Yeah, that's going to murder them all. Do I want a second brace? Do I want a second brace? No, I don't want a second brace. I don't want my deck getting too much bigger than it already is. It's too bad about that falchion. Okay. So, before I fucking forget. Okay, girded transport. Let's impose some new tariffs. Oh, hey. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll take it. Sure. Okay, 24 is not bad. He's sweeping. All right, I'm going to move him out of the way so that he only takes the 18 and a little bit of bleed. I thought he was sweeping. I guess not. Okay. Fucking whatever. So... Okay. Want to see something funny? This guy, Patterford Mercenary, is a bit of a loose cannon. If you check out what his actual action here is, if he's in the front rank, he deals 12 damage to opponent rank. If he's in the back rank, he deals 12 damage to the ally front rank. Because he's going to just do a big grand cleave, and he doesn't really care who's in front of him. And luckily, we have a billhook. So, we're just going to have him do some 12 damage to his own people. And that's what we're going to have him do. That's all you're going to be doing this round, and I think that's everything we've got. I need more card draw. I need more preparation in this deck. Absolutely. I need a lot more preparation. I don't have any quick hands. I only have the one calculating strike. I don't like it. Alright, so first off, let's give a little bit of restoration to you just in case. Oh, you moron. What I should have done right there was hit Running on Fumes first so that he can have a whole bunch of Winded. And then I could have consumed that Winded into... Yes. The problem is I'm not very smart, you guys. Alright. So first off... in theory, I should have thrown a powder first, but I didn't want to. I wanted to clear a little bit of space. Because I want to discard. I want to discard. Ooh, hey, look at this! Law of Exchange. Lightning Strikes is over. 3 stamina. I'm gonna bring me back Powder Keg, and it goes right into my hand. Oh, that's great! Look at that. How lovely. Okay. In that case, I might not be getting rid of Lightning Strikes after all, because it does combo quite well with Law of Exchange for this deck. All right, so who don't we like? I have decided not to like you. Okay. It's a bit of a shame because my mouse is completely out of experience, not experience, stamina. Nothing, and yeah, it's not that big of a deal. This is fine. How about you? Okay. And see, this is what I should have done before. So now I have 5 winded. Now I use well rested. Hey, look at that! I've got 16 restoration. That's actually quite good. I'm satisfied with that. I'm satisfied with that pick. I don't need this black powder anymore, so I'm just going to. I'm gonna hurt people. Is what I'm gonna do. I don't need this anymore. I don't think. Let's bring grenade back. For Powdermaster, one of the things that you're absolutely building for is to... Oh, shit. Wow, that was a lot. Luckily, Tresselfort happens to have quite a bit of health regen, which we are absolutely, by the way, going to... we're absolutely going to sit on top of right now. I'm going to let Tresselfort get his health back. Oops. Yeah, I'm letting Tresselfort get his health back. And look at that! See, he's already all the way back up. That's big thumbs up. Alright, Tresselfort, go ahead, murder him. There we go. Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, okay. I'll take the Superior. I'm going to swap that on to Tresselfort after he's gained some levels and has more stamina. And again, I'm going to be putting almost nothing but stamina on this mouse. He is not... That is a damn shame. I'm not taking that back alley. Instead, let's hit the crossroads. There's our prisoners. I'm okay with passing up either of these combats. I might not be okay with passing up whatever's underneath those combats, so we're taking the prisoners now. Okay. Okay, we got 24 damage incoming, but it's not... It's just 24 damage. There's nothing else to it. Okay. Let's just start with a decent discard. And I already have my bomb, so I may as well smack him in the face. Give him a pasha in the tuchus. Okay, I keep mentioning that it is very, very hot in here. I am going to go and grab some water. I'll be back in about a moment. 1 moment, please. All right, 1 moment. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Okay, so where were we? Oh yes, that's right, murder. Okay, so first of all, okay. How silly would this be? Very silly or slightly silly? Let's find out. Okay, what are you doing? Okay. And I'm also going to move What is the next weapon card that will be drawn? All right, there's no weapon cards in my deck. What I'm looking at right now is he disarms. This guy's going to disarm. He deals 10 damage, and also he's going to banish the next weapon card we would draw for the targeted character, which is both of these guys. We are not into that. He is the only one who is actually going to be casting, because this guy is going to die. So let's move you out of the way and not deal with that. Why bother taking damage if we don't have to? Okay. Not taking any of those, not taking any of those. Okay, Tresselfort, let's see what you got. It's Sadon Tresselfort. I think that's probably a guy. All right, so for your passive. Oh, big money, no whammies. It's not terrible. It's not bad. But this is much better. Gambler is great. Gambler is instant card draw. It means that as long as I'm willing to discard one card, I will always have one extra card in my hand. And I'm going for stamina. Tresselfort is going to be a mouse that will be very low on will. Okay. Yeah, I can discard the well-rested for right now. I don't really need it currently. Okay. I'm going to make a little bit of room. I am going to discard these. And let's just start blowing people up, shall we? We're all set. Okay. All right, so powder keg. Let's make a little bit of room. That means all of them are attacking this round. That's not the smartest idea there, XP. You sure you know what you're doing? Let's banish this. Get a powder keg back into my hand. Get that powder keg. Sure you know what you're doing here, XP? Because it seems like you are inviting a lot of damage that you didn't need to be taking. Sure about this? Oh my god. 80 boom. Does it make you feel pretty, XP? Is that why you did this? It does. It makes me feel very pretty. Look at all that boom. I'm going to take a lot of damage that I could have avoided. Yeah, just a little bit of bleed. Just a little bit of bleed is fine. I don't need to discard any of these. We can just start murdering people. You, in particular. Oh my god. I cannot believe I was lucky enough to get a mouse with just already opportunist. Right out of the gate opportunist. How fucking... I'm getting visions of Willows again. I'm so excited about this mouse. He is definitely going to get murdered at some point. Alright, finally a refresh. Oh god, I keep forgetting I should be reading the event cards. I'm sorry. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what this guy does. That's new, and that's a very, very cool... It's a very cool graphic. My other option is going after the Mentor. The Mentor is going to either be +1 will, which is good for my Powdermaster, or copy a card. And the card that I would copy is this red powder. But I don't know if I need to do that, seeing as how I am able to bring those powder kegs back into my hand over and over again. I'm going to see what this innkeeper is about. I don't know what he does. I have not seen him before. You barely wrap your knuckles on the wood before the hatch slides urgently open.
We've got warm food, quality gear, and plenty looking for work. What are you needing, my friend?
We can either heal each party member 50%, nice, but not necessary. We can recruit a character from a choice of 3, okay, Or we can view 3 armors. Let's take a look at what the character recruit is going to be. 300 florins. Oh, but they are high level. Well, they are good level for that cost. Okay, let's see. Rolfwick. In base game, this would be an absolute immediate yes, but it's not the base game, and I'm going to say no to this mouse for right now. All right. Whenever I discard Spawn of Flourish, we discard a lot, and he also has Flow. He also has Master at Arms, but it's his Master at Arms. This is another one. If this was base game, I probably would be taking Fenwick Yanning, but it's not, so I probably won't. And you is a level. Let's see. Riposte for 1 turn. If this character is moved by an opponent, movement is blocked, attacker. Okay, whatever. No, absolutely not. None of these. No. If it is anyone, it would possibly be Yanning. Let's see. Never Surrender that's not bad, actually. Apply 15 armor to target ally and gain 1 will. That's quite good. Strength of Will also is not bad because it's discard. It's card draw and also card cycle. Master at Arms is not amazing. Honestly, I think that if I added this guy to my deck, he would because these are all great talents and passives for base game, but this is not base game. And what I'm actually recruiting for is someone who is going to be supporting my Powdermaster, and he doesn't really have anything that's going to support my Powdermaster. So I am going to take one last long look at a mouse with Cutthroat. Motherfucker, a mouse with Cutthroat. I'm going to say goodbye to all of them. I'm not taking any of them. That's a shame. Don't need any of these. I'll check out the Smithy's Apprentice to see if there's anything I need to discard. What do I have in my stash? Okay, I'm going to swap this superior armor onto him right now, and I'm going to go ahead and get an extra $200 for getting rid of the heavy armor. Exotic Merchant. This one is very, very interesting. This is also, you'll notice this is the so far the only cat we've seen in this game. You get the impression the merchant smiles at you as you approach. Let me try that again. You get the impression the merchant smiles at you as you approach, though their face remains cloaked in shadow. "Greetings, stranger," they whisper in a raspy tone. "For a fair price, my wares can be yours today, changing one's essence or one's tools." Okay, so this merchant offers you one of 3 talents or one of 3 tools that are not available anywhere else in the game. The tools are skills that are not available anywhere else in the game. The talents are going to be, I would swap one of my existing talents out for something that is different, which would absolutely be Tresselfort's Eager Strike. I would definitely be getting rid of Tresselfort's Eager Strike. Tools at my disposal are lacking. I don't remember what the skills. Either of these honestly would be great, but I am going to go after the talents because I want to get rid. I've been looking for an excuse to get rid of that one card. Excellent, they drone. They gesture towards one side of the stool's wares. "Please take your pick for a prize, of course." So we're gonna. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, these are the 3 talents that are available. First one is Copycat. When enemies in the same lane as you gain armor or charge, you gain the same, and then you banish. It's a power. It is a persistent buff. That would go on Tresselfort, and that's great for Tresselfort because he's not going to end up having as much armor generation as my Powdermaster. Excuse me. Rivalry is just plain gain 3 fury this combat. What that is, at the turn end, the character gains it gains strength equal to the stacks of fury, and fury increases by +2. That would be awesome for a mouse. That would be awesome for a mouse. But we're not using this mouse like a regular mouse. We're not going to be using him for his multi-strike damage. We're actually using him for his. We're using him instead for his ability to support our Powdermaster. So we're not taking that either. We're not taking that at all. I mean, Serenity, for every point of will this character has, survey the next X cards in your draw pile, and we may discard or banish any of them. Which is a neat idea. That would be very good card mill for a high will character, but it's going to be going on Tresselfort, and he's only got 2 will. So I'm going to take Copycat, and I'm going to swap out Eager Strike for it.
A pleasure doing business.
All right. I'm not going to bother offloading anything. I am going to bother murdering somebody. There's somebody in there that needs to be murdered, and we're going to murder them. Ooh, knife throwers! These guys are neat. Okay, so this is one of the new mob designs. They look really. He looks so fucking cute. Look at them. Oh my god. Doesn't it look huggable? Don't you just want to... I mean, like, it looks so soft, and I want to pinch its little cheeks, and of course, if I tried that, it'd fucking murder me, because everything in this game is terrifyingly murderous. Okay, so knife throwers are interesting and a bit different. Whenever this character is attacked, they gain +1 knives. Whenever I play a weapon card, all characters with knife attack the frontmost opponent in the lane opposite of them for 5 damage for each stack of knife. And then the stack of knives then resets. So the way this is going to work is they're constantly going to be building up a handful of throwing knives, and they're just going to fucking throw them all at us. I see already a bunch of things that we can do right away. So first off, we're going to start off. We're going to get some card draw, and we're going to ditch. Get 36 boom. It's not bad. This footman is basic bitch. He does not frighten me. So I'm going to go ahead and... I know, right? I know, but we are who we are, and they who are who they are. I mean, like, it would be nice. I mean, look how fucking cute. I feel bad about this, dude. I just want to... And this is over if you survive. Do you mind if I very, very slowly... Oh yeah, I probably could have. Absolutely. I'm not the best at this game. You're right. You're absolutely right. I could have murdered both of them. I'm not perfect at this game, and I do misplay. I get in my head that I'm going to try to do a particular thing, and then often that trying to do that thing is what blows up in my face. I am experienced enough at this game that I have my win rate against the princes. It's in the high 80%. But you're absolutely right. If I had played all the powders, I definitely would have killed both of the knife throwers. I am going to pretend that I didn't want to because they're so fucking cute and I didn't want to kill them yet. But instead what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to move him back and hit him a little bit of defense. By the way, thanks for coming along. Welcome in. I fully welcome any amount of advice or whatever. Again, I misplay all the time. If you can see that I'm doing something wrong and there's a way I can do it better, by all means, let me know. In the meantime, okay. I really don't need to. I could. Yeah, I'm gonna. Nope, I can't. All right, so. That's what I was going for. Usually when I try to show off, everything blows up in my face and I end up kicking myself in the balls. I don't need another deep strike. I don't want another calculating strike. Yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I have also found that, especially also on the Warden, just playing powders is incredibly effective. Stacking Boom, however, does enable you to get just stupid big hits. And if that makes you feel pretty, and it makes me feel pretty, then, you know, it's worth it. It is, You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. Just playing the powders, playing a fucking fistful of powders is incredibly strong for him. By the way, that armorer right there is the single most important event in the Powdermaster's entire game. I'm going to click on it to make sure I don't accidentally click on anything else. He is the most important thing in the Powdermaster's entire game. I have, particularly once you get the armor, when you get the upgraded armor, having high stacks of boom also very much helps out the Powdermaster, because that's just half of your. We'll get to it in a second, but half of your boom is converted. You get half of your boom as armor at the beginning of every round. Oh, that's good job. Well done. Prince is serious fucking business. How did you do? Is if you look around, I mean, like, if you smash that like button and hit the subscribey, whatever the fuck, or if you look over, if it's too much to ask of anyone, I have a YouTube page. It's on my About tab on Twitch. I've been compiling my runs. I have, I think I have a total of 7 or 8 runs up. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. Too bad. Well, that's not a bad idea, and I agree with you. Starting with a beaver. Prince is very difficult. We'll get to him when we get to him. Prince is legitimately serious business. He is quite a difficult fight. What I would recommend to start with, you start with a beaver and also either a mouse or a weasel, so that you can have a tremendous amount of early damage. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Beaver is incredibly powerful early game because he splits the incoming actions between himself and a barricade, or you can have 2 beavers with a barricade in front of each of them, and you just don't take damage for a while. But that can lull you into a sense of false security, where you get accustomed to, having your barricades. Thanks very much for coming along, man. If you look on my YouTubes, you'll see the rest of this put up. You have a great day, man, and be safe. I love you. Good night. Anyway, so it can lull you into a sense of false security, because you get into the habit of hiding behind your barricade, and it's possible that you might neglect to build up your defenses in your back rank, which you absolutely need to be doing. Anyway, making your way over, you notice figures in the background. It was T1. The locked skills, I'll go, you know what's something? Yeah, the locked skills are okay. It's not the end of the world with beavers. Beavers are pretty strong right out of the box. They're very strong right out of the box. You know what? When I'm done with this run, I'll go through some of the if you're interested, if you have any interest in it whatsoever, if I'm not fucking preaching at you, I'd be very happy to go over some of the so just, some tips on how to get through the prince. But in the meantime, making your way over, you notice figures in the background packing the shop's wares into heavy wooden crates. Watching every movement, a group of beavers stand guard, clad in rugged clothes, clutching heavy shields by their sides. The otter notices your interest.
Selling up, he gruffs. Forced to by these blast forgers, they call themselves. He scowls. Bunch of brutes. 50 summers I've been working steel. You don't get good steel by blasting with powder, I'll tell you that. Well, he says solemnly, had to put the hammer down one day.
One of the beavers hurries over furiously.
Oi, clear off! He's got to fill his quota. Oh, just be more than just a hammer's getting put down.
You don't much like his tone. Help the old chap out. This is a legitimately difficult fight. Let's talk a little bit about this. One sec. I can discard the pickaxe. This is a legitimately difficult fight, and I'm going to see if I can actually kill this fucking blast forger, the one in the front, before he goes into the back. They have they have shield wall. Incoming damage is divided by the number of targets on their rank. They also have fury, so they're constantly gaining damage. They are going to be severely impeding our ability to murder them. Let's see. Hold on. So first off, let's get some card draw, and let's also, he's now got 6 winded. We're going to use the well rested, and now he's got 18 resto coming in. Good. He's set for a bit. And this is potentially enough to murder both of them. But the problem is the black powder is going to shuffle him into the back, and that is a concern for me, because if he's in the back row, he's going to be taking 1/3 damage. So let's see. Nope. You know what? You've only got 3 stamina. I'm going to go ahead with the. I'm gonna build up the boom instead, because if I'd used the black powder, it would have knocked this guy into the back and cut down the amount of damage anyway. But this way, at the very least, I can hit him really hard before he shuffles into the back. Okay. You know what? Nope, let's not. Let's discard this kick. And here's what we're doing. So first off, we're going to take Bill Hook, move this motherfucker over here. He's going to be angry about it, but that's fine. He can fuck himself. He now is taking 100% damage. He's also going to change his... oh, he's not going to. He's going to move. Never mind. What are you doing? Okay. I don't need to move you out of the way. You're fine. I'm going to use this to bring Powder Keg back into my hand. And let's see. Let's do a little damage. Okay. I think this should be I should be able to kill the one in the middle, which is good because he is the one that gives himself flash powder. So we're good. We're in good shape. We're fine. I'm happy about this. Okay, good. We'll discard the guard, sure. Nobody's on the same rank as you, and I don't have a withdraw in my hand, so instead I am going to banish the copycat to bring in extra cards. And you know what? You've got enough. So here's what this is just all we're going to do. This is a mouse with Opportunist. Opportunist is a mouse-only talent. It is an excellent fucking talent. Whenever this character applies a status effect to an opponent, deal 2 damage for every stack applied. I have that in a room with a Powdermaster. This is going to be. I'm going to have. He said, "Tempting fate." I'm gonna fuck up the prince. Quick hands, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. This is a challenge run. Every time I add a card to my deck, it deducts $50 from me. I need to beat the game with 2,500 cards. 2,500 cards. What an idiot. 2,500 florins. We are taking Armorer's Mail. Armorer's Mail is going to be game changing. We're also going to take this. No, I'm going to let him break. We're going to go for the sparring partner. Shadow, yeah, no, the shadows are absolutely fucked up. I am gonna murder those bastards. They're like, I'm hopefully gonna be able to get, well, I'm going to try not to brag about what I'm hopefully going to be able to do, because that is exactly when that's not going to happen. I'm going to give an extra stamina to Tresselfort so that he can cast more powders for me. Caster is going to attack. As you approach the palisades, the beaver cocks the fanged crossbow with a wicked grin. The closer you got, the more that jangling of your belts and buckles started to sound like bags of gold dancing towards me. I'm sure you got a heart of gold doing what you're doing for good reasons, but I don't care, friend. I'm gonna tear that gold from your chest. You best try to keep that heart in your chest. Whoa! He's talking about my heart! Let's see. I'm going to get rid of the kick, because the barricades, I don't believe I can boot them anyway. Okay. What are you doing? This damage is dealt directly to Vitality, so he's going to be doing 15 damage right into Tresselfort's face. I can't block that. I can only evade it, and I don't have that card up in my hand. Or at least not yet. Let's see. Nope! Okay. Let's see what we can do. Well, first of all, let's get some health coming back in. And honestly, I really probably could just do this. Honestly. But I mean, where's the fun in that? Nah. Not a bad idea, but not necessary. With two red powders in my hand, and the mouse with opportunist, I could already see I was just going to murder him. Double team is not necessary. I already have a law of exchange. I don't want another second wind. There is Caster's crossbow. I am going to put it into my stash. I am not putting it onto Tresselfort because Tresselfort has a billhook, and billhook is always on somebody because billhook is crowd control. All right. Now, I can afford to hire somebody else. That doesn't necessarily mean that I will hire someone else, and I do need to have $2,500 by the end of this game, which isn't necessarily going to be the end of. I mean, it's not going to be that hard, I don't think, to get, but we'll see. Isolde Burrows, already not bad, except for the fact that you are back rank. I don't like that you're back rank. Entrench is useless for me. Unscrupulous is useless for me. Nefarious is fine. You are a big maybe, mostly because of... Which one? Is which an achievement? Oh, no. I'm doing a challenge run. Give me a second, actually. Yeah, as soon as I'm out of this, I'll show you. I'm doing a challenge run. This game has a series of challenges that you can opt in to take. If you beat the challenge, you will gain a card reward, and some of the card rewards are very, very valuable. The card reward for this one is not especially valuable, but it's a pretty fun challenge run anyway. There are two of the challenges that I have not been able to figure out yet. One of the challenges I have not been able to figure out. It's very serious business, and it sucks because the reward is a crossbow that I very much want. I am thinking about Burrows here. Superior light armor is not great. That means that she would need to be in the back row, and that also means that I would need to bring. I need to shuffle things around to make sure that my Powdermaster is alone in his rank to make sure I'm getting the most out of Bastion. The only reason why I'm thinking about this is because of Patient and Gambler. Patient, if at the start of this turn this character has any will, they draw one card. That is card draw. Card draw is king. Gambler is one discard, draw two. That being said, Isolde does have two talents that are useless for me. Nefarious is fine. That longbow is okay. It's actually quite good because we don't have anyone with a ranged attack just yet. But Entrench is useless for me, and so is Unscrupulous. I cannot afford De Grey. And Tresselfort? Yes, Gambler does stack. You can have up to 6 guys, and all 6 guys can have Gambler. Now, granted, there is a certain point where you will just not be able to draw any additional cards. And at that point, it doesn't become card draw, it becomes card cycle. You then can find cards that you don't want to have in your hand now, and it gives you a chance of getting something better in your hand. Tresselfort is a no, unfortunately. I like wolves a lot, but this is not going to be a wolf that will support our Powdermaster very well. And I don't really think I need Burrows. I don't think I need to have a weasel. We're not going to hire anybody. We're going to stick with our 2 guys. A lot of those effects can stack, by the way. There's another very, very high tier one called Born Leader. Whenever you play out all the cards in your hand, if you have a guy with Born Leader, for every character in his rank that still has at least 1 stamina, you'll draw an extra card. If you have multiple guys in that rank with Born Leader, what'll happen is first you play out all your hands, and then Born Leader will trigger, and then you play out all your hands, and then the second Born Leader will trigger. And then if you have another Born Leader, you play out all your hands and play out all your cards, and then a third Born Leader will trigger. These things stack. It's a good question because it's not necessarily clear that that's what is going to happen. This is Grit Salt, by the way. Grit Salt ain't shit. Let's see. Almost all that is coming in on my Powdermaster. I can avoid it just by moving out of the way. And you, what's coming in on you? You're not going to get anything important. That's fine. I am going to see if I can get any additional... Nope. All right. In that case, let's just get some. Now, the reason why it's important now for me to get... I got the 20 card achieved in my Beaver run that had Gambler Born Leader also, then a Rogue Otter and Skill Copy Wolf. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. That's the one where you play 20 cards in a single round. Yeah. That's what you want to be doing, by the way. That's your goal. The micro game, one facet of the micro game for Banners of Ruin is you want your turn to go on as long as possible. Constant card draw, and also if you can manage it, constant stamina regeneration is also really, really good. All right, so it did. Weasels are very, very strong, especially early game, because each point of will is worth 6 damage and 9 bleed, and that 9 bleed is enough to kill at least one guy, usually either every round or every other round. The other facet of the micro game for Banners of Ruin is you want to, if you can, you want to be able to reduce incoming actions by 1 every round at least. We're not going to be doing that this turn, but that's fine because we're skipping most of the damage. Give me a second. So, just to point something out, I picked up Armorer's Mail in that Armora event. The reason why this is so game-changing, it is... Okay, so we went from... Powdermaster starts the game with light armor, regular basic bitch light armor, glued to his back. It's awful, awful armor. It gives you the extra stamina, which is quite nice, but it's not worth the trade-off. It's only 6 armor. You need to replace that as quickly as you can. As soon as you have enough of your own stamina to make up for that little crutch, the boost of the 1 stamina, you want to get rid of it. But it's stuck on his back, so he has to deal with very low armor, and he can only gain his armor from his cards for a while, which is the reason why I have Steadfast and Bastion. Now that he has Armorer's Mail, he starts each combat with 30 armor, and every round, he will gain half of his stacks of Boom as armor. So my armor generation for my Powdermaster is great. So he is nice and beefy. He is a decent meat shield. Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a trip the first time you ever deal with it. Especially the most recent patch, Montebello hot fixed this. Previously, one of your starting gifts. One of your starting gifts was could have been weapons, which is a cruel joke because Powdermaster can't use any of those weapons. So it's basically giving you an option to waste your opening gift if you're not paying attention, or if you don't know that everything is glued to his back, like I didn't the first time I played him. So first of all, we're going to prevent Gritsalt from taking any action at all, and just scooting his buddy over there into the back. Let's see. I'm gonna keep some health rolling on you, and also, yeah. Okay. Being able to play banish a card. It does not ban. Okay, yes, that's correct. Hold on. That's a very, very good question. I've said this a couple of times. Hold on. So, you need to pay attention to the order. No. That is as designed. So you need to pay attention to the order that the order that it says it's going to go. So first it banishes a card, then it draws 3 cards, then it banishes itself. If there's no card to discard or no card to banish, then it just skips that step. There's nothing to banish. So it moves on to the next one. That is working as intended. And that's a very smart thing to start working your stuff around. It's the reason why there are certain card draw cards that I don't really take anymore, because you draw. Well, there's one in particular that I got from one of the challenges. It's called Exertion. It is draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. Because first you draw first you draw 3 cards, then you discard 2 cards. You can't avoid discarding the cards. Anyway, I've babbled enough. I'm not casting these black powders yet. Forgive me, I get very excitable. I love this game. I've been playing this for quite a while. I've been playing this for over a year now, I think. Since it was first released in early access, I was looking for a new deck builder roguelike because I was getting a little irritated with one of the ones that I've been playing. It's not a deck builder, but it's Star Renegades, which is a very good game that unfortunately is so reliant on RNG that you can lose, like... Yeah, this game is, you know something? Yes, it's a good time to pick it up too, because there's a lot babbling. Between playing it on this and playing it on my Switch, I have over 300 hours on this. I'm not perfect. I don't think I am the best at this, but I am good enough at it that I'd like to say that I'd like to think that I know what I'm doing, and at least enough that I can tell other people, hey, this is the cards that you should be looking for. This is how to get through this. This game does have a what's the word I'm looking for? It has a ramp. What the fuck is it? Can't think of words. Whatever. Oh my god. For the cost of a cup of coffee, you could help XV find the word he's looking for. Won't you help? Learning curve! Thank you. Holy shit. Yes, this game, thank you, God bless you, and keep you and watch over you. This game does have a learning curve, and I'd like to help in getting over that learning curve. So, let's start doing some damage, because we've spent way too much time on Gritsalt's ugly face. Yeah. Actually, though, that being said, once you get over that learning curve, the game is substantially easier. A lot of it really boils around. There are a number of cards. That really feel like they're in there basically to test you, to see if you'll take them. Like there's a number of cards that just getting them is just wrong, and also. Blah, 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 blah. Babbling. I don't need any of this. Hold on. I'm going to take this steadfast in case I get someone else, but I don't need it for right now. Something I want to point out, if you put a weapon into your stash for later, you'll notice it comes up in your deck. If you put armor into your stash, it does not. Which one's Carnage? Which one is Carnage? I don't remember. Okay. Well, first of all, we're getting you an extra stamina. Okay. Okay. Yes. It's not. Yeah. it's pretty good, and you're. I don't usually run ruin. I don't usually run ruin decks, but that I know the card you're talking about. Yes, I don't usually have it in my deck, which is why I didn't recognize it by name. It has a couple of weaknesses that you'll notice in playing it, because it is not as powerful as you want it to be fresh out of the box. You need to play it a couple of times first. Now that means you need to have some ability to either fish it out of your deck, and there are plenty of cards that'll let you do that, or you need to have a very, very, very skinny deck, which is very difficult to have in this game, because every time you add a new character to your team, you're adding their talents, you're adding their weapons. It becomes very difficult to keep your deck light. I don't want to take Dash, even though it would not be a bad idea. I am thinking about taking Exertion, honestly. I'm going to take Exertion because that's going to let me fish shit out of my deck. Now, let's see. Tresselfort has just hit level 6, so it is worth it. It's worth it to level him up, and that also means that I need to be super fucking careful about any other cards that I pick, because what I really probably should have done there was take the 1,000 florin, so that I'm already over the 2,500 I need to clear the challenge. Big money, no whammies, and okay. I'll go ahead and put fucking Cutthroat on you, you champion, you motherfucking champion. Sat on Tresselfort, I'm gonna kiss you on your goddamn mouse face. You are perfect. You are perfect, and I love you. This mouse has Opportunist. Whenever this character applies a status effect to an opponent, deal 2 damage for every stack applied. This mouse also has Cutthroat. Whenever this character deals damage, apply 1 bleed. Which is a status effect. You fucking beautiful champion, you. I'm gonna lose him. I know that already. He's gonna die. I'm making too much of a big deal about how much I love Tresselfort, and that's exactly what happened with Willows. And then Willows got murdered by the prince, and I got very, very angry, and I had to murder the prince a whole bunch of times. I'm still salty over that. I'm taking the chains. The poison application one is also not bad, yes, because for exactly the same reason. Any of those, for exactly the same reason. I'm going to go ahead and take Stroke of Genius. And let's see, hold on. Are there any talents that I want to remove from my deck completely? Do I want to remove Copycat? No, you know what? I think I'm okay with what I got. I'm okay with this. My deck is nice and lean. I've only got 34 cards. Hey, it's the knife throwers. Cool. Do you remember these adorable fucking guys? Look at them. Now there's 6. Oh, they're so fucking cute. I'm going to have to murder all of them. All right. Well, shit. That's not great. Okay. Well, plus side is that I've got tons of armor on everybody. They're not going to break through. Okay. So, let's get some card draw. Let's, actually... Yeah, that's what I completely forgot. Because he's got Opportunist and because he's got Cutthroat, now, every time I have him trigger his mouse ability of building up strength bombs, he's going to fire them off immediately. What got me through my earliest games, we tried to evade through the city advance as quickly as possible. Not a good plan. That's correct. It is not a good plan. What you really want to do is you really should... Okay. You should be, in my opinion, you should be aiming for as many combats as you can get. You want experience and you want money. You want to save as much money as you can possibly get, so that when you hit your first recruitment event, yeah, absolutely. When you hit your first recruitment event, you want to be able to at least get 1 extra guy into your team. This is in base game, not Powdermaster. Powdermaster is different. Anyway, let's... You've got the... Anything I want to get back into my hand? Actually, I kind of do. I don't want to waste any of my bandolier charges, and there's no reason in using my grenades, so let's just... Let them punch me a little bit. Okay. Ooh, that is a lot of black powder, huh? All right. You know what? Let's just murder the back row, shall we? Ten bleed. Do you see why I fucking lost my shit over Tresselfort for a second there? This motherfucker, look at him. Look at his face. I'm gonna kiss your face. I'm gonna kiss your face, Tresselfort. You're fucking perfect. I love you. I love you. You are my boy. I'm gonna do everything I can to prevent you from getting killed. You're probably gonna get killed. Oh my god, he's gonna get killed. Oh, please don't kill my Tresselfort. Please don't kill Tresselfort. Oh my god. I love him so much. I want to take him home. Alright, none of these. And, Whenever this character receives damage from it, that's retaliate. At the start of every turn, gain 10 armor and 4 retaliation. How fucking cool. I'm gonna take that. I've seen this only once before, and I didn't get a chance to put it on anybody. I don't think I'm gonna put that on Tresselfort, because I do really want the starting 38 armor, but if I do get anyone else to stick into the back, this is gonna go on him. Along with that and the crossbow. Okay. Don't need a quick round. Let's get some courage. Courage is someone takes 10 damage. in exchange for +1 stamina. Tresselfort with 9 stamina is everything in the world that I want. Okay. It's 1,000 experience. It's 1,000 experience. How close are you? Oh, wait. You know what? Yeah, that's not even a question. And let's get the free money. And I am now at 2,500. I am at exactly 2,500. So as long as I don't spend any money, it also means, well, no, I'll have for when he said trailing off into babbling. Shit. All right, let's get rid of the well rested. Okay, serious business fight. Ender halberdiers can hit the back row. They also strike lanes. They also have protected, and these guys have protector. They cannot take damage until the guys in the front are dead. We're going to need to handle this with kid gloves. And by kid gloves, what I mean is we're going to take a bill hook, throw this guy over here, and now this guy doesn't have any protection. Because he can go fuck himself. I don't really think I need to build up bomb. I have a mouse with opportunist and cutthroat. So if you notice, so okay, look at the amount of bleed that it's applying. So this guy at the end has 4. So we hit him once. He goes up to 5. Every time you do damage, it increases that bleed, and it also does 2 damage. Big thumbs up. It's these two passives on a mouse. It means a couple of things. Number one, it means you don't use strength bombs anymore. You don't push this button on this mouse ever again, because it's going to be consumed. The strength that you build, the charge that you build up, is going to be immediately consumed with the hit from the opportunist that comes immediately after. So this guy, he never hits this button ever again. So he's got 2 will to spend on withdraw and on whatever the fuck the name this well rested. And he's just going to take a brace and yeah, we're all set. This is seriously going to change a bit of the way that I play, because it also does mean that like this mouse is now actually stronger than my Powdermaster, which is very strange. Red powder to my hand. Okay, this card is going to banish now. I'm doing this knowing full well that's going to happen. The reason why this guy is taking so much damage is because he's taking all the damage that should have gone to this halberdier. He is literally guarding this halberdier with his body. That's what's happening there. And unfortunately, he probably should have not done that. Yeah. We're going to be able to... I took chains twice and the prince one, didn't understand them. Okay, I see. Yeah, a lot of wasted stamina. It's unfortunate. I really do wish that anything in this game at all explained what the fuck those chains are for and why you're getting them. It would be nice. It would be nice if you know, when it gives you the option, do you want to take chains? If it said, hey, these are chains that you're going to need for one specific event, and until you use that for that specific event, it's just a burden in your deck. It is a card that does nothing otherwise. I on behalf of this game, I apologize. It's one of the weaknesses of this game is that it sees no real need in explaining to you how to play it. It gives you a decent tutorial that shows you a bit of the ins and outs, and then it lets you free and says, have fun. And everything else from that is all trial and error and a lot of failure. A lot of failure. I already looked. Nope, nothing. Okay, we're all set. Tresselfort. I'm tempted to take that barrage. I'm tempted to take this barrage. I'm not going to take this barrage, but I am tempted to take this. All 3 of these are very good. Whirlwind in particular would be amazing if I had there's a particular upgrade you can get that decreases a card's cost by 1 will that turns Whirlwind into a 0 cost card. And currently, this mouse is. I mean, the mouse. My mouse is. Tresselfort's weapon damage right now is 10, so it's not. This is not a huge deal. Barrage is 2 times 4 damage, so it's great for building up and setting off strength bombs. And after playing, this shuffles back into your draw pile. So once you see it, you keep seeing it. The only reason why I would take this is because this would be 8 damage, plus also how much bleed? 4 bleed, and then an additional 8 damage on top of that for each point of bleed. But I'm going to forfeit instead. I'm not adding any more cards into my deck, and I'm just going to take another stamina. All right. Scruples. Who needs them? Some guards approach a nearby checkpoint, kicking and dragging a hare in front of him. You recognize him.
Oi! Taking this one to the gallows! Eyewitnesses saw him helping those sodding Blackfoots running around. You heard about them lot, right? Hold on. You mean they're not part of the riots?
We have to help. This motherfucker, in some way, he helped us out. I don't know how he helped us out, but we're those Blackfoots who are running around. So it's clear that in some way, he helped us. Okay, what's coming? 20 damage coming to you, 20 damage coming to you, and this is going to be swapped. He's swapping my Powdermaster, which I'm not into, because I want him to stay. I want Powdermaster to stay in his own lane so that he can keep on getting the benefit from Bastion. Let's delay. One of the things Black Powder does is it pushes everybody into the back rank. So let's go ahead and delay this round and build up a little bit of boom. Okay. All right, cool. So let's give you... It didn't give me the full amount, but what I mostly wanted was this. I want to heal up the rest of his health. Who is going to do the most amount of shit to me? He's going to be repositioning my Powdermaster, which, again, I don't want. So let's... punish him a bit. Let's pull... red powder back into my hand. I know this is going to be banished by this. That's fine. Let's murder you. Let's bring you right here. Continue working on you. Okay. So you fucked. Another thing that's very important, you notice that when I move him into this lane, this overwhelm, which usually goes away at the end of the character's turn, it's still on him. Granted, this bleed hasn't ticked yet, but because he hasn't moved, I have preserved this overwhelm, and now I get to have another round of dealing 75% additional damage to this motherfucker. This is the reason why I had no problems with... banishing that red powder. I knew it was going to be worth it. And also, I can just kill him. That's also a thing. I was going to say I can just boot him to the back again. Or also, he can just explode and die. That is also a perfectly reasonable option. Go to transport. Let's get some money. Oop, sorry, trying to get comfortable, failing miserably. You scurry into an unseen alleyway as a company of heavily armed guards turns the corner ahead. They're transporting a cart with a heavy chest. It must be valuable to warrant that kind of escort. It's time to impose some new tariffs. This is one of the ones that you can actually run into early on. The nature of the encounter itself is going to be different depending on which street you're in. It's always going to be a difficult fight, but it's always worth 600 gold, florins, whatever, which makes it always valuable. So what's coming in? I got 24 damage coming in on him. That's fine. You can weather that, no problem. And I have also 3 bleed and 18 damage. Okay, alright, so what I'm definitely doing is... One Anticipation is going to soak the first hit coming in. I don't like that I started with no card draw. Bringing back the Calculating Strike because I want to have another Another 2 stacks of preparation. Preparation also, the game does not let you know that preparation is one of the single most important self buffs in the entire game. There are 2 regular combat reward cards that will give you this this effect. Calculating strike, and where are you? Quick hands. You notice quick hands, they both cost 2. Calculating strike is 8 damage, 2 preparation. Quick hands is draw 1 card, 3 preparation. Each stack of preparation is 1 extra card drawn the next round, each turn. It ticks down by 1, so this is going to be 4 extra cards, 3 extra cards, 2 extra cards, 1 extra card. Card draw wins this game. It is what is more. It is. It's more important than almost any other effect, except for red powder. But you want card draw to bring in your red powder. Don't like him having that bleed. Don't have anything to heal him with yet. Oh, I do. I've got an invigorating blow right here. Look at that. All right. So first things first. Let's clear a bit of space. Perfect. Okay. That was a mistake. What I should have done was play the powder keg and then use that to bring the powder keg immediately back into my hand. I made a mistake there. That's fine. It's not gonna ruin me. I'm gonna go ahead and get some discard because I want him to have a healthy amount of. I want him to have a healthy amount of boom, and not just fully rely on Tresselfort. Speaking of which, hey Tresselfort, murder. You're so good. There is one thing I want to point out about what's happening here. You notice, all right, so... Oh, I don't have anything to hit him with. All right, I was going to try to do an object lesson. This Ender Swordsmaster, he has Retaliate. It's only 3, but he does have Retaliate. I want you to notice that every single time Tresselfort hit this Swordmaster, with the initial hit, and then with each subsequent hit from the Opportunist, I was getting retaliation damage every single time. Powder is not considered range. Range is considered range. The weapon in your hand dictates whether or not you are casting from range or casting from melee. My Powdermaster has a pickaxe in his main hand. He is hard locked. He is always melee. My Tresselfort, he is holding a 2-handed weapon. He is hard locked into melee. If I attack someone with retaliation, yes, you are using powder with crossbow guy. Yes, the lesson that you learned there was that you were on the right track. You were on the right track. The lesson that you learned there was if your character is wielding any kind of a ranged weapon, not throwable, ranged weapon, that character is 100% immune to retaliation. That is very, very important for a couple of guys that we may see later. We haven't seen them yet. Let's just get rid of you. I'm spreading stuff around a bit too much. That's fine. I don't have anything major coming in. Yeah, I'm alright with that, because he's got 17 health coming in every round. Hey, look at that. Silly amounts of... Nope, okay, I don't have anything in the... you know what? Okay. He said just more babbling to himself, just rambling away. Let's fuck the back rank a little bit. I don't need to discard anymore, so... Tresselfort, murder some guys for me. These guys too. You see, he's getting that damage every single time. It's something that it's something to pay attention to, especially for a particular... I'll show it to you when it happens. I will show it to you when it happens. Because we're absolutely going to run into at least one of them, and they are cannot be ignored. Whoop. No, wrong button. That's fine. Being a little bit sloppy because this fight is completely over. We are ruining everybody. And none of these. Akimbo is normally a very good card. I don't have anyone dual wielding. Well, I do. Powdermaster is dual wielding. But he's hard locked at 8 weapon damage. There's something important. Akimbo and another card called Flurry. They both give you a bonus effect if you are, in quotes, dual wielding. Akimbo considers a shield in your offhand as dual wielding. So as long as you have literally anything in your offhand, you will strike 3 times with Akimbo. Flurry, or Fury. It's weapon damage plus 1 stack of Overwhelm. If you are dual wielding, it's 2 stacks of Overwhelm. Flurry, you need to have another weapon in your offhand to get the extra effect. Yes. And another thing that would be very, very nice if the game made any effort to explain to you. I love this game. It is, for real, it is one of my favorite games. I keep on coming back to this. When I was murdering myself against Melania over and over and over again, in order to blow off steam, I would come back and play this. Because it can be very relaxing, just, traipsing through cobblestone streets full of these adorably, adorably angry little furries murdering each other. Okay. Oh my god, it's so fucking hot in here. I'm dying. Where's my water? Alright. So. Okay. Interesting. Alright. Okay, so these guys are going to fuck around with my placement. These guys are just going to do a lot of damage to lanes. Okay. Anything I want to get rid of? Nope. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking about it. I have all 4 kinds of powder in my hand, so this is going to be I'm going to do this. I might be able to take 1 or 2 of them. I might be able to do some decent damage against them right now, but I think it's going to be better in the long run just to have a little bit of boom on top of him. Let's see. There we go. Who's got the least? You got the least. There we go. So, I am quite comfortable with my deck the way that it is. I don't really think I need to add anything into it. I could probably stand to lose a couple of things. Probably. But I've got plenty of ways of getting cards back into my hand, which is very valuable for Powdermaster. It's also very valuable for Tresselfort, my ace, my wonder, my champion, my fucking mighty man. You little bastard, you. I love you. All right. Excuse me. One time. There's one thing to point out about Bandolier. It has limited uses. You can use it 3 times. That's the 3rd time. Can't use it anymore. Okay. What are you doing? Okay, you're gonna be fucking around with us. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. And I could have killed the halberdier, but it seemed like a waste to throw 40 damage at 4 health. I'm not going to be hurting. This is gonna piss me off right there. That is going to annoy me. That is going to annoy me, yes. You absolute prick, you. All right, there we go. So I could get a full, because I've got all 4 powders in my hands. But frankly, also, I mean, it's also true that I have Tresselfort, so, I mean, boop. God damn. What I like about Tresselfort in particular is that he is still in a position to be direct support for my Powdermaster. It's frankly, I could really just be saving him for after I've already got his. I mean, once I get his boom up, all of those powders get cast off of him, and the damage that is done is just delightful. Look at that. Oh, yep, that's right. I get no more uses out of that because I'd already used it 3 times. There we go. I'm going to say this again. Poison Tip is a bafflingly bad card. I really feel that it's there to sort of like dare you into taking it. Granted, it's only 1 stamina, but 3 poison is just not worth it. 3 poison, just 3 poison. It's not worth it. None of this, none of this, none of this, none of this, none of this. Okay. Powder Thieves! Nice. This is a difficult fight, but it's going to end with us getting 3 extra powders. The gang... No, no, it's not a terrible choice for the high armor fights. You're absolutely right. Yes. Gang corners you into a nearby alley. The largest group of the largest. Blech, try that again. The gang corner you into a nearby alley. The largest of the group addresses you. We got word from Spitter that some competition might be coming into town. He moves towards you and taps the Powdermaster's keg. We're the ones running powder through Dawn's Point. Only ones who ever will. The city's taken, friend. He steps back. Now hand over your wares and you can be on your way. But I got's a feeling things won't be that easy. The rest of the group place their paws on the hilts of their swords. They can go fuck themselves. Give me a second. Yes, Tresselfort is going to be fucking amazing on the Prince, by the way. He's also going to be amazing on the Warden, because the Warden cannot take more than 25 damage at a time. Tresselfort is going to be doing nickel and dime damage, and huge amounts of nickel and dime damage. Second. Alright, so, a word about this particular fight. This is serious business. Pay attention. Pay attention to this fight. This is, as this was added in with the DLC, this is a legitimately well-designed fight that is designed to murder you. Each of these guys is going to each going to sweep the lane, and they are going to apply stacks of Overwhelm equal to their flash powder. This right here, to everyone in the lane, and then this guy is going to pick one person, and he is going to. No, he's not actually going to deal one. This guy is going to do 15 damage to the rank. So right now that is 2 flash, that is 100% additional damage. He is now doing 30 damage to the rank. Next round, this is going to be 3 overwhelm, and the rank is going to be taking increasingly damage until we just start folding. You need to move the smuggler leader out of the way or kill him as quickly as possible. He's the one that you really want to deal with. So wait, if you move him out of the way... Actually, I probably should have hit him with the red powder first. It's what it is. So his action is going to change next round to get back into rank. So we're going to try to keep on pushing him out of rank so he never gets to detonate our guys. And our guys also have time to build up lots of armor and lots of boom. Don't really think I need... Yeah, you know what? I don't really think I really need that copycat that much. Do I have anything in Banish? I have nothing in Banish, so it wouldn't do me any good anyway. Alright, well. Let's see what I got. That's what I've got, huh? Okay, then. Let's move everybody into the back row. By the way, every single additional hit off of Opportunist is big capital I, capital S, is being modified by Overwhelm. Tresselfort is a fucking monster. Do you see this shit? This crazy shit. None of these. It's a shame, but none of those either. You brush yourself down and notice some of the kegs the gangs were carrying are still sealed. Beside it lays a small chest with a skull chalked onto it. That's how you can tell it's serious business. So you have a choice: gain 3 powder cards of random colors, or take the chest and gain 2 black powders. Take the 3 powder cards of random colors. These are not ghost black powders. If you use them, they they ruin forever. The black powders that we've been using up to this point have been being generated by cards, which means they leave our deck at the end of the fight. I'm going to take 3 powder cards of random colors and hope that there are no black powders in there, because it's going to mean that I'm going to need to remove that card from my deck, because I want to be able to cast black powder. Yeah, exactly. See? All right, so big money, no whammies. 1 black, 2 red. All right, you know what? That's not bad. There's the worst case scenario here. Oh shit, that's bad. So large crowd in the middle. I know that the informant's event is somewhere in this deck. I can't go in here. The only thing I can do is crossroads. Please don't go away, blue dot. Hey, look at that! Escape right away. Okay, cool. As soon as I have an opportunity to, I'm going to remove that real black powder out of my hand, out of my deck, because it's I'm going to be using it. I'm going to be using it inadvertently. Okay. All right. So let's see. Notice, by the way, none of these got those extra hits, because I don't know. They don't count as whatever. They don't get the extra hits from Opportunist. I'm going to pretend that I remembered that and was trying to show you that on purpose. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this pickaxe. Oh, I forgot. Holy shit. They upgraded the pickaxe. This used to be just plain 8 damage, but now if the target had any armor, it's gained 5 armor. I guess we're using the pickaxe to pry off some armor and stick it onto our backs then. Okay, that's cool. This is 12 damage. Okay, this is going to break this. There we go. And because it broke through the armor, I get the stamina back. I did not have enough stamina in my hand to warrant. I didn't have enough powders in my hand to warrant starting to dispose of them. So instead, we're just doing this. Jesus Christ. Tresselfort, for fuck's sake. He's already dead. Okay, so quick hands and also... Yeah. Yeah, I know. No. I apologize. No. I could not have hit the bear. The bear has taken cover, which means I would not have been able to hit him as long as this barricade is up. I know what you're talking about with the deep strike. I couldn't have hit him. He was being protected. I'm going to need to break this barricade down before I can hit him directly. The reason why I was able to hit him before with everything else was because I was targeting an AoE attack, the powders, onto someone who did not have anyone in front of him. So the AoE resolved and everyone in the lane got hit, even though technically speaking I should not have been able to do that. So that's the reason why I wasted the deep strike on this guy right here instead of... Yeah, right. You already get it. I'll continue to explain for an hour. That's just who I am. Oh, no, I can't move that? Oh, what a pain. That's a shame. Okay. I am not doing great on the on this particular front here. This is really not worth... This is not worth discarding. It's not worth the will. That's a shame. Nothing. Okay. All right. So 12 out of 15. Well done. And honestly, Jesus Christ. Well, hey, Tresselfort. Yeah, I know, right? Gonna go ahead and just discard this, because it's just the black powders by itself. It's just 2 by 6, so it's 12 boom instead of anything exciting. But frankly, this is I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're in pretty good shape here. Let's get that powder keg back into our hand, and let's actually get some decent. Where's my water? I'm thinking that I might, if I have an opportunity, I might get rid of 2 for 1. I really have barely used it to any real effect. It's honestly the best talents that I've found for Powdermaster. Honest to God, it's Powder Keg and Deadly Cargo. That's pretty much it. Oh, actually, we can be fucking done with this now, can't we? There's no kill like overkill. Don't need another calculating strike. But I will pick up a quick hands if I find it. The last guard falls. You just manage to heave the iron gate high enough for the informant to push the boat out of the mouth of the river. Your strength gives out just as they cross the threshold, and you release the chain with a mighty crash.
I owe you my life, friend,
the informant shouts as the boat drifts on.
Rest assured, I will uphold our agreement. Make your way to the high gate at dawn. You will have your vengeance.
Drop the chains and leave. Blackfoot stash! Perfect. That's exactly what I'm going to do. We're getting rid of this black powder. It hurts me to do so, but it's not like I don't have a shit ton of black powder coming into our hand. It's just going to end up getting ruined. There's no point in it being there. We're going to take the armory reserves for the elite fight. Honestly, we really don't need anything else. We are both at max level. We both have plenty of money. At this point, I really could be avoiding combats. Okay, so when you're looking for endgame armor for your back rank, your best options are going to be Sellsword's Garb. This is amazing. I've never seen this. Well, I think I've seen it once before, but this is brand new for this DLC. Steadfast is great. Steadfast is also a passive. Steadfast the armor and Steadfast the passive stack. So if you have a character that has both armor Steadfast and passive Steadfast, he is in fact gaining 16 armor per level. Adventurer's Gear is pretty good. It's going to end up giving you, at the end of the turn, gain 5 armor and 1 winded for every point of stamina this character has left. It's all right. It's not great. Soldier's Heirloom is the one that I usually recommend. It's 12 bolster, which is you gain armor for every stack of bolster that you have, and it ticks down by 1 every turn. It is a good, reliable way of getting decent amounts of armor on a backline character before it becomes important, and I'll talk about that when it gets to it. Whoa, look at you. Okay. All right, so Survivalist does have bolster and resto. It starts with 0, and it ticks its way up. It's also a very, very good one, but you need to be aware of the fact that it is very slow for the first couple of rounds. It eventually will build itself up to 15 armor and health every round. That's where it'll max out, and that's every round you're getting that in, which is, of course, it's lovely. It's excellent, and I think you're actually getting 15 stacks of resto every turn. So it just kind of gets crazy out of control. But a couple of rounds has to go by. There are certain encounters in which you're going to want to get shit done as quickly as possible. So it is All of this is a very babbly, roundabout, long-ass way of saying, yes, it is a very, very good armor, but you need to be cognizant of the fact that it is slow. You're going to want to make sure that you have some defensive cards like Brace in your deck so that you can cover up until Survivalist Gear revs up. We're not really going to do anything else right now because we have a handful of red powder. And this is, in about a moment, going to get incredibly stupid. Oh my god. 12 stacks of Overwhelm. By the way, one thing about the way that Overwhelm and Vulnerable work with each other, they stack. They are additive. So one stack of Vulnerable counts as one stack of Overwhelm for purposes of damage calculation, if that makes sense. It's not multiplicative. It's if you have okay, so if you have one shot of red powder and one shot of pink powder, that is 3 stacks of Vulnerable, 3 stacks of Overwhelm. That's 25% damage from the Vulnerable, 75% damage from the Overwhelm. It becomes 100% additional damage. That's how that calculates. Don't need any of this. Is there anything else I could stand to get rid of? Is there anything else I could stand to get rid of? Once I hit that button, I can't leave without ditching something. I could probably get rid of a guard, but I have refreshes in my hand. I mean, like, and I have Gambler, so I do want some things that I can discard. I don't think there's anything really in here that's worth getting rid of. Yeah, let's just go. All right. I could honestly just do the same thing again here, couldn't I? Like, this was a Powdermaster run, but now this is a Tresselfort run. Tresselfort is the new hero of this game. If he dies, the game is over. This is ridiculous. He's so good. Look at how fucking dumb that is. I don't even need to break the black powders. They're not going to die this round, but they will die next round. Look how dumb that is. That's so good. Oh, hang on. Well. What can I do? I kind of don't want to... You know what? Let's just work on the back row. I kind of don't want to waste any of these on... I mean, they're all going to die. Excuse me. Jesus Christ. That's so good. Tresselfort was an incredibly, incredibly lucky pull. I have said this a billion fucking times, but my God, I cannot stress enough exactly how much RNG has favored us today. I mean, I really wanted to demonstrate how, you know, once you get over that learning curve, this game is the difficulty in this game does really kind of drop out. But unfortunately, what I've demonstrated most of all is that if you get this particular mouse, you could just fucking ruin gods, really. I'm going to need to be very careful on the prints because this is 9 stacks of Overwhelm now. Even regular, I mean, even regular cards, like even 5 damage cards, are getting perilously close to that 25 damage. None of these. That 25 damage threshold. I'm gonna. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna cheap this. I'm not gonna go after the combat. I don't need it. And I'm not going to take any of these because I don't need it. I am shocked that I did not actually manage to see any of the spearmen that I usually need to address and deal with that have carapace. I guess that'll... I had planned on talking about it, but I guess that's one thing I can't babble about now. So, let's see what you got. Sup, Hasselthwaite. Okay. I want to talk about this a little bit, very, very quickly. Okay, so this passive, this is one of the passives that you'll unlock as you gain tiers in Weasels. It is not a bad passive, but it's something that you really, really, really need to be 100% aware of what this fucking does before you push this button. Whenever you draw a concealed blade, transform it into a poisoned blade. What this means is that every Weasel from now on, once you hit that button, every Weasel is throwing out nothing but poisoned blades. Poisoned blades look different. It's the same exact thing. It's 2 damage, and it's deal 2 damage, apply 3 poison instead of bleed. So it's poisons instead of bleeds. There are other passives that you can get that will directly benefit and support and boost a poison deck. If you getting a Weasel with Assassin or choosing Assassin for your Weasel is a good way of basically locking yourself into a very poison-heavy run, full stop, because every single Weasel is now going to be spitting out poisoned blades. The reason why this is especially important is that there is another passive in the game called Sharp. Sharp is a very, very strong passive. Every single time any concealed blade is drawn, Sharp gains an extra stack, and that Weasel adds that stack to his concealed blades every time he casts a concealed blade. Do you understand? So it can, if you have several Weasels, you can very quickly get a Weasel that is doing like fucking 25 damage with each concealed blade. Choosing Assassin turns off Sharp completely, because you will no longer draw a single concealed blade. You'll only be drawing poisoned blades. I know I'm taking a lot of time to talk about something that isn't relevant, but if you ever come into the situation yourself, I want you to remember this moment. If you pick up Assassin, you will never see another concealed blade, full stop. And any card that you have that is comboing off of specifically concealed blades, you'll no longer get that effect. Okay, we're not taking this guy anyway. Steadfast is all right. Pestilent is fine. None of these are really that great. He's decent. He's got Agile, and he does have Dash for Agile. This is not a good armor. No, this is a hard no. Bloodthirsty would have been fucking awesome if I met him 2 streets ago. None of this. Absolutely none of this. I'm not even going to bother discussing it. None of this is worth adding to our party. We are no longer capable of adding or subtracting any cards from our deck. We can't gain any more levels. We can't gain any more money. This money right here, this is our closing amount. That is how much we have, period. So right now, we have cleared this challenge. All I got to do is beat the prince. And here's our motherfucker. Hey, fella, remember me? A couple things about this fight. So, give me a minute. Ender Bannerman. Yep, yeah. Ender Bannerman. He is going to banish the first card I use every round. This is the Warden. The Warden is very serious business for a number of reasons. It is a very strong opening hand, honestly. I think I may actually just say fuck the dumb shit, wipe out the back row, and move the Warden in. I might actually be able to do that too. Okay, so the very important thing about the Warden, and I've mentioned this a couple of times up to this point, he cannot take more than 25 damage. 25 damage is the total maximum damage he can take from any single attack. Any attack that does more than 25 damage, the excess will be converted immediately into armor. Not paying attention to this is how the Warden suddenly, very abruptly, gains hundreds of armor. The Warden is going to do a couple of things that are very dangerous. The first thing he's going to do is jump to the back row. The next thing he's going to do is sweep the back row and bring the back row to the front row. And then his halberdiers are going to proceed to carve up your back row. I have mentioned a couple of times leading up to this point that it is important for you to armor up your back row, and this motherfucker right here is the reason why. If you don't have decent armor on your back row, you're going to start losing guys on the Warden. Full stop. That being said, I'm going to cast the yellow powder first. Because I'm okay with it being banished by the Bannerman. These bannermen, by the way, not the bannermen, the halberdiers do most of the damage in this fight because they gain strength very quickly and they hit rows. So they do no less than 20 damage and they start gaining strength very quickly. These guys in the front are mostly, their issue is that their difficulty is that they are tanky as fuck. The Warden I've already explained. The Warden, eventually, he's going to start doing some things that disrupt us, and then he's going to start stealing armor from his friends and using that amount as damage on us. It's going to be a whole thing. But not for us. I'm going to move him into the back row right away. Okay. So, this landscape looks very, very different than it did when I first started playing this game, let me fucking tell you. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and knock him into the back row too. Oh, I meant to hit this guy. That's fine. Oh, I want to point out something that is happening here. All of these guys have something called Magnificent Plate. While their armor is 60 or above, they cannot gain bleed. They will only gain vulnerable. So this is actually a very well designed fight. They spent a lot of time on this, and it's clear. The specific mechanics of this fight are directly countering a lot of the best winning strategies to get to him. Have a very strong front row. Have a lighter armored back row. Have lots and lots of bleeds. That gets fucked up by Magnificent Plate. Your lightly armored back row gets fucked up by the Warden's second attack. Anyway, let's just move forward. Let's get rid of you. Okay. All right, yeah. He's another thing that he's gonna be doing is putting not only does he hit your back rank and bring them to the front, but he also gives them all 7 stacks of winded. So your back rank doesn't get to do shit next round. It's if you're not prepared for it, and it's easy not to be prepared for it. It can be quite sudden and quite fuck all of your guys. Especially because it's easy to fall into the trap of assuming that, you know what? I'm not going to do anything else. Is there anything else I could get out of my back? I don't really want to do that. I don't want to bring anything in. Except maybe quick hands. Maybe quick hands? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, all right. That's a good spot. Oh, I should have thrown it anyway just to do the damage. Okay. So. Okay. Let's boot you out. Also, let's give you some passive armor gen on that too. Okay, now I got a choice. I can build up bombs and then get them with big hits, or I can just proceed to nickel and dime the motherfucker to death. I'm gonna be nickel and diming the motherfucker to death. I really don't want... Oh, I see. Oh, you idiot! I was wondering why that wasn't working. I'm such a moron. I threw the powders off of my Powdermaster instead of off of Tresselfort. That was a mistake. It's fine. Ugh. Serves me right for trying to show off. Let's move him also back here so he doesn't get to move. Limiting the amount of incoming actions. That's how you fucking win the game. No one's doing anything. Let's give a little brace. And no, Okay. All right. Yeah, you notice I'm already going over. I'm going over his max limit, but it's okay because my follow-up is knocking the subsequent armor away. Yeah, okay. And the Powdermaster was there too. Okay, that's Tresselfort doesn't get to do anything right now. That's fine. What are you doing? Okay. Let's, yeah. I'm going to take a moment to build up a little bit more boom there. $40 boom. And, whoa! Okay. I forgot about all those overwhelm stacks on him. Very, very stupid. Hey, remember that thing I said was going to happen if you don't pay attention to your shit fucking whatever? It happened. This is fine, though, because he's got 14 bleed on him, and he's not going to be doing the thing that removes his bleed until like right now. So, yeah. Yeah, we're all good. We are fine. I'm sorry. This has become very much the Tresselfort show. This fucking mouse. I love this mouse. Moment of silence. I point this out a lot. Almost every single time. I want to point it out again. The prince, this is all happening because the prince killed his father, the king, because he was jealous that he wasn't loved as much and daddy didn't hug him enough. So he killed his father, the king, took over and murdered Landon, burned down the Black Church. So we are infiltrating Dawn's End to take revenge. The king that the prince murdered is explicitly referred to as beloved by more than one individual. The warden, it is very likely that the warden was, because the prince is a sniveling little shit stain who absolutely, I'm gonna bet he poisoned his dad, because fuck that guy. There's a very strong chance that the warden was the captain of the guard under the beloved king. Beloved kings don't tend to have hated captains of the guard. There is a very strong chance that the man we murdered to get into the front door may have been an objectively lawful good person who was just doing his fucking job. Just pointing that out. So, here comes the Spy Master. What a shame. Spy Master definitely probably does cool things. I don't know what those things are. He dies way too quickly. He's very underwhelming. Well, the truth of the matter is, and I make fun of him every single time, what he does is yeah, exactly. I mean, like, if you have the juice to get through the Warden, there is almost no chance that the Spy Master is going to present a real difficulty for you. What he does is he throws ticking bombs into your deck that explode if you don't play them. They're very expensive. And he also, it's this, Shadow Master ticks up by 2 every time he's attacked. When a shadow is spawned, they gain stacks of, basically, they gain damage equal to the current stacks of Shadow Master. So if you are nickel and diming him, what he's going to be doing is he's going to be summoning assassins in. Then the tricky part is that they're summoned in actually on our ranks behind our guys, and then they attack us, and then they jump over to his side. It's cute, it's neat, it's kitschy, it's incredibly underwhelming. He really needed to have some dudes in here with him to soak some of these blows, or like a fucking, I don't know, something that he can hide behind. Have you seen what my mouse is capable of? You need to be running. Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. Stabbing my mouse away at absolutely fucking nothing, shall I? I'd like to introduce you to Tresselfort. Tresselfort murders gods. Nope. Bye. Sorry. I mean, I don't know what to say. Now the prince. Okay, so, one moment, I gotta adjust my headset a bit. I am sweating like a fucking gross monster. Alright. So, let's talk about this. There's a couple of things that are different about the prince fight. You'll notice this red ribbon here, this is what denotes the... Yeah, it's a pretty good opener. I'm happy about this. I could really just start on him. I don't need to start building up. Boom, but I want to. I am going to start building up Boom, I think. I have a couple of choices here. I'll talk about it in a second. First, let's talk about what's different about this fight. All the front row and the back row are both active, always. So previously, the maximum amount of incoming actions I could have I was going to need to deal with was 3. From now on, for this fight, it's going to be 6. 6 actions are going to be incoming. Also, there are the Kingsguard. All 3 of the Kingsguard have Magnificent Plate. Okay? They also have something called Kingsguard. All cards cost an additional 1 stamina while any Kingsguard are alive. So you figured out how to get past the Warden, who was specifically designed to undermine, all the winning strategies we could think of. Now, how about this ridiculous clusterfuck? All of these guys are going to be doing something fucking dangerous. Yeah, Boom, not necessarily. Boom could also get rough, yes. The Boom could get rough in that you're not wrong, actually. Boom could get rough in that it could leave Tresselfort open to actually getting hurt. If I move quickly, I think I might want to move quickly. It might be the best bet is to move quickly and start in right away, because I've got a lot in my hand. I've got 10 stamina, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's everything in your hand. I can do that. Yeah, I know. No, it's he can get fucked up real quickly. So you're right. I think I am going to actually blow out Tresselfort's hand and get as much damage in here as possible. Each one of these guys does something very dangerous. When you get to the prince, I would very strongly recommend that you look over what it is that they're doing, so that you don't get surprised when what they're doing fucking sucks. You got to this guy earlier today. you saw firsthand the amount of incoming damage, the amount of incoming actions. Shit gets very chaotic. Obelisk has a lot of moves that will shuffle characters around, which makes it very difficult to determine, because shuffling is going to be fully randomized. It's difficult to tell who is going to be taking the damage from Endress. These two shadows, they don't do anything special, but they do 20 damage every single round. I'm going to go with the front row. I could probably kill both of these shadows, but I want this. This is what I want. Okay, and we're starting to build up bleed. That's 6, okay. So I can do one more of these. Okay. Powdermaster's just sitting back there. Things got very backwards in this game. I brought Tresselfort to support the Powdermaster, but instead the Powdermaster is just filling Tresselfort's hands. Motherfucker, look at this shit. Do you see this shit? This is fucking great. Oh, they're all dying right now. They're all dying right now. Yeah. Fuck you, Obelisk. Fuck you, Gladius. Okay, the Prince now can just die, honestly. The Prince can't die as long as any of his Kingsguard are up. And his Kingsguard aren't up. Because we have this fucking demon monster beast of a fucking mouse, Tresselfort, you animal. And my Powdermaster was there too. I mean, like, he sat in the background, he waved a little flag, he was basically there for moral support, and he brought the bag of orange slices. This is stupid. This is stupid. I didn't bother building any boom. Normally, I want to say this. Okay, listen. Normally, building up boom is an excellent form of play, because then you can build up a little bit of boom. You spend 1 or 2 rounds giving yourself a little bit of boom, and then your bomb just deletes one person at a time. But at a certain point here, you're right. At a certain point here, we just had so much. We just get so much powder in our hand that it's often much more. With the Powdermaster going against the Warden, in previous successful runs, I have also used powder to nickel and dime the Warden down to ensure that I don't hit that 25 damage threshold. This time, I mean, I don't even know if this was this even an efficient explanation for how to play this game. So the best way to play this game is get Tresselfort, get this guy right here. I honestly don't need that bandolier at all. There's none of these. Okay, fine. It's a bit ridiculous. This is a little ridiculous. I'll take it, but it's a little ridiculous. Sometimes you just get lucky. You find a mouse that happens to have fucking everything you're looking for, and he takes you through to the end like a fucking champion. So, epilogue. The prince lays slouched against the base of the throne, clutching his wounds. So does Landon plan to burn my city too, or conquer it? You don't respond. Oh, Landon's alive! I thought he'd murder him. My bad. Our houses had warred for far too long, he spits, still managing to draw breath. So many years of bloodshed. My father dreamt of peace, but I could never see a means to it. It brought him great sadness and longing, so I vowed it would be my legacy. I would bring us peace. I would make my father proud. But then Landon came to Blackchurch. My father began to regain hope. He'd say, "The great Landon was a leader with whom we could broker a peace. He spoke with such admiration and love he had never directed at his son, for a man he'd never met. His voice takes a darker turn. His voice takes a darker tone. So I burned your black church to the ground, till the sky went black, until you couldn't breathe through the ash. But when I returned from that victory, I did not see pride in his eyes. No, he wouldn't even meet my gaze. Ruin, he kept saying, as if in a trance. You've brought ruin and nothing more. He foresaw this, all of this, that Landon would come for me. You would all come for me. He noted more virtues and qualities of your people that night than he had ever mentioned of me. Couldn't bear to hear it. So I did what I did. Then I was rewarded for my sins, of course, a festival held in his honor. The bitter irony of it. Even now, out there in the streets, they celebrate his name. They sing songs of the noble king, the just king, virtues I do not possess. They loved my father, but they will never love me. A strange stillness washes over him. So, what will it be? He continues after a long pause. What fate awaits me? So, let's talk about what fate awaits the prince. This is a real decision that you're going to need to make. There is one correct choice, and it's the wrong one. So each one of these choices is going to directly correspond to a new reward card that you will have access to at the beginning of each subsequent game, separate from your others. As of right now, because I have all three of these. So the first three cards I see are Ruin, Justice, and Mercy. I forget what they're actually called. And then after that, I get a choice of my opening gift cards. Ruin will allow you to permanently ruin 5 cards out of your deck. This gives you a massive head start on running a Ruin deck. Justice doesn't make any fucking sense. It enables you to choose your first talent in advance. You don't get the talent. You just choose it in advance. So when you hit your first level, that's the talent that you're going to get. I don't fucking understand it. I have said this, I think, just about every single time I've come to this point. I don't get what the purpose of this particular thing is. It does not seem to have any use. The only thing I've been able to think of is that maybe this is the game giving you a choice of an early mulligan. You can see what your first talent is going to be, and if it doesn't make you feel pretty, you can quit out and start again. And then there is Mercy. Mercy gives you charity. Charity is you can re-roll 5 times. You can re-roll your reward cards 5 times. You've seen me do those re-rolls. You've seen it. It's an extra option up at the top. You get 3 cards. None of them look good. You re-roll. You have, you get these at the beginning of the game when your deck sucks, and this is an extra, obviously. It's very straightforward. It's an extra opportunity to get the cards that you want into your hand. Card draw, fury, decent powders, decent, card draw. Shit that you need. So, Ruin is you murder him because he is a prick. And murdering him is literally the whole reason why we are here. And to point this out and to put a very, very bold-faced red line underneath it, we have murdered several dozen people on the way here, including the warden, a man who possibly may have been objectively lawful good. We have killed so many people on the way here. Murdering this man is the reason. I mean, that's why we're here, is to get vengeance, to exact justice. Speaking of justice, hand him over to the people. They will decide his fate. What they're probably going to do is hang him and draw and quarter him and concoct really, really, really insulting really insulting holidays, making fun of him. That's probably what's going to happen when we hand him over to the people. Mercy, we say, you know something? Yeah. He could have swapped teams, yes, but you know something? He is loyal to the crown. He should have seen it coming. He should have noticed entire buildings just falling over every time Tresselfort put his foot down. Just this tiny little mouse walking normally, and just the ground around him is shaking, and the earth before him yawns open wide, and every single time he inhales, the world just clenches up, and every time he exhales, bouts of flame come all around him as he wanders up the street, scratching behind his ear. Warden saw that coming. He could have run, but he was a brave man, and he was loyal to the crown, even if the person wearing that crown was this motherfucker. I agree with you, but also, Warden's kind of a badass, and dying the way that he did is kind of badass. It makes us kind of a little bit more. I mean, like, we just sort of walked past him and he exploded. I don't know if Tresselfort actually noticed that anything was happening. I'm not 100% certain that he knows that anything is going on here, and let's hope he never finds out, because if he ever realizes that there's a world around him, what army could stand against this fucking mouse? He looks at things and they just explode. Anyway. That would be great. Hey, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And then get an extra option over here that the warden wants to be the one to deliver the finishing blow to the prince. So anyway, we got Ruin. We can murder him because he is a prick. We can give him over to the people so that they can murder him because he's a prick, and also they can create an insulting holiday that in which they will probably go on burning him in effigy for years and years to come because he murdered the king. Or we can pat him on the back, shake him by the hand, hug him, give him a big old kiss on the lips, and say, "You are forgiven, my child. All is forgiven. Why don't you keep the crown and stay the king so that you can rebuild the world around you?" It's the dumbest possible option. It is objectively the incorrect choice. I don't care. We can't claim that we're lawfully good here. We can't claim we're lawful good. We have killed so many people. So the first time you killed a prince, mercy is the option you're going to take, even if it just feels very, very wrong. Very, very wrong. But I already have mercy, so I'm just going to fucking kill him. "So my soul shall burn too," he growls. Perhaps that is fitting. As you draw your blade, the sky darkens. The light of dawn fades from the great hall. A flock of crows rush across the black sky. It is done. This run was very chaotic good. This run was scary. I've had mice. I have had mice with Opportunist. I've never had a mouse with Opportunist with a Powdermaster feeding him stupid, ludicrous amounts of powder. It was unnerving how much damage that was. So, okay, you notice, I want to point something out. I fucking waltzed through everything. We did have at least one Oaths multiplier. My score is 992. That's important because one of the more important challenges that you really should set for yourself, High Flyer, you need to break 1,000. In order to do this, in order to break 1,000, I said this at the beginning of the stream. You need to add more mods. Basically, you need to add on more mods to increase your score as much as you possibly can. The best way that I found to get High Flyer is to add on Blood Pact, which is any party member death ends the game. I did skip a couple of fights, yeah, but it would not have been enough of a difference. I made, I think, 925 after the whole game. No, you're absolutely right. I did. There were a couple of, there was at least one additional elite fight I could have taken, and there was at least one additional combat I could have taken. It wouldn't have been enough to put me over 1,000. You need more. The best mods I found to go after this are Timid and Blood Pact. Blood Pact, any party member death ends the game, so don't let anyone die. And Timid, whenever a party member dies during a campaign, all remaining party members lose 1 max will. That's just a gimme because, if anyone dies, the game is over anyway, so you may as well just add on an additional score multiplier. Putting the two of these things on, if you go all the way through and kill the prince, for me, it was a little over 1,300 score. So that's how you do this one, and it's worth it because Refresh, of all of the rewards from the challenges, Refresh is the best. It is a 0-cost card. It banishes a card in your hand, so it keeps your deck neat and tidy. It draws 3 cards, so it's very high yield, and then it banishes itself because it is a good boy and it cleans up after itself. It's perfect. It's everything you're looking for in card draw. It's also everything you're looking for in just basically any card, and you can pick them up from the regular combat encounters. So this is one of the cards that there's no such thing as having too many of these in your deck. Refresh is one of those. Hold on. Yeah, kind of, pretty much. Yes. Magic the Gathering game recognizes Magic the Gathering game. Yes. Hold on. So compendium. The cards that are, you can't have too many of these cards in your deck. Let's see. Red Powder, Refresh, and Reserves. R. Reserves, you need to make sure that you have at least one person in your back rank. Obviously, if you are doing a regular run that in which you'll normally have like a bunch of people in your back, maybe as many as 3, this is extraordinarily high yield for its stamina cost. 1 stamina for 1, 2, 3 cards drawn and a shot of vigor. Oh yeah, absolutely. Not only that, but it's 1 draw and also you get a shot of vigor. So you are able to take an extra, usually you're able to take an extra action that round. Refresh, because it banishes itself out of your deck, and because if you cast it last, there's nothing to banish, so it doesn't banish anything, so you just, draw the 3 cards. There's no such thing as too many refreshes. And as we have just seen, there is really no such thing as too much red powder in a single deck. The amount of damage that you end up with gets so wildly, massively, stupidly out of control. Normally, on a normal Powdermaster run, what I become accustomed to doing is, you build up some boom, and then once you have a suitable amount of boom, you put down red powder, you put down pink powder, and then you hit them with your fucking grenade, and they take stupid amounts of damage. The most I have seen from a single grenade, personally, I think was a little over 300. Someone in one of the other streams told me that he got 399, which is, I can absolutely see that. The only real problem is that there are very few things in this game that have that much health. So the nickel and diming down is also very, very valid. It's So yeah, that's that. Yes, you can. That gate fight, by the way. I know, right? That gate fight, by the way, I want to point this out. There are 2 things in this game that have been nerfed by Monte Barrow. The first thing that has been nerfed by Monte Barrow is red powder. You used to be able to get red powder out of combat rewards. Now you can only get them from, the new Powdermaster encounters gives you more opportunities to get red powder. But previously, you could only get them from Kilderkin. Kilderkin is generally the only event in the first street that is worth spending money on. Let me say that again. It is the only non-recruitment event on the first street that is really worth spending money on. It's $100 for a shot of red powder, and the answer is yes, that's what you want. Kilderkin is big thumbs up. The other is that escape event. What used to happen was every turn, the chain counter would decrease by 1. So if you didn't have enough chains in your deck and your deck was too large, it was a bad fucking time. It was a bad time. It was really fucking gross. That encounter could just take. I think one time I had a very, very sizable deck. I didn't have enough card draw, and I only had 2 chains in my deck. It took over an hour to complete it because I had to just basically get lucky. I'm babbling. So, I have been. Give me 1 second.